with another show. I am Harry. With me is Tyson.
Let me talk to you.
And boy, do we have some stuff to talk about. We got Raw, we have SmackDown, Survivor Series, War Games is just around the corner, and we have WrestleMania 5 for a retro review, a retro wrestling review thing. I fucked that up already. But yeah, let's get into it.
It's
How you doing,
okay.
Tyson?
Doing good, as always.
The funny thing is, my original thing was like a play on the night before Christmas, but I'm like, it's nowhere near Christmas. So it what's it
It's
the night
close.
before?
It's close enough. You know, we were a week out from Black Friday,
Oh yeah,
so
you have your
it's
Christmas
pretty much
shopping done
Christmas
already?
season. No, I haven't started either.
Yeah. Do you usually wait till the last minute, like most of us?
Nope. I started on Black Friday. I'm a big Black Friday guy.
Do you wait in line?
They don't really do it anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
because probably
I
because
was
of
just thinking
Amazon
about
and
that.
shit.
I was just thinking about that too. So I used to be, going. You get the little printouts of all the stores, and then you have to like figure out what store you're going to. You got to wait in line at one. That's going to be the big thing you get, and then you got to map out what other stores you're going to. But now they don't even start it on Friday. They started on Wednesday, and you can do it all online.
So I gotta ask, what are you waiting in line on Black Friday for?
Well, I don't have anything right now.
What have you waited in line for? What is so
TV,
important?
a TV. That's one. A
Was the deal
laptop I got 1 year,
was the deal that good?
under $100. That's yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I got a laptop 1 year. That one obviously wasn't $100. That was like $600 or so,
Yeah.
but it was like half price. So it's always good to get those deals. I
Okay.
like the deal hunting, honestly.
I do too. I just can't stand crowds, and I certainly can't stand lines. I'm not.
Well, they
There's
don't do
nothing.
those anymore. They do
Well, of course
online.
not. Yeah, I get that now today, but I'm just saying, in terms of like traditionally Black Friday.
Oh, 1 year they even did. Walmart did a raffle. You didn't even have to be like there. Oh, you got your ticket. You can leave and pay whenever you want.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
was that during the stuff?
No, this was like a year or two before.
Oh okay.
They wanted to change because it was getting too dangerous, as they say. Oh, we got to do something different because we don't want people, you know, staying overnight. Like back in the PlayStation 3 days, you had to wait like overnight, or you eat with your family around lunchtime, Thanksgiving dinner if you celebrate that. And then you go like from that, you go right into line. But now they do it. Yeah. Black Friday's gotten soft.
I just waited until the sale happened again, like it always does. Like there's always like a Memorial Day sale or a July sale.
Not for the TV. Like the TV specifically was like a Black Friday thing. And they even started making, well, they do this now. They make models specifically for Black Friday.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Unless they fall apart.
I haven't had one fall apart,
No.
knock on wood, but every TV that I've gotten from a Black Friday deal has lasted me until I was ready to move on.
And that is a perfect segue because I think we should move on to Raw.
This is not a Black Friday podcast.
No, it is not. I just
We don't want to
realized we're
get
like
into the
5 minutes
deals.
into. I don't mind the preamble, but 5 minutes in to fucking Black Friday discussion, I think we need to cut it short here. So let's talk about Raw. I don't know if that's more interesting or not, but Cody Rhodes starts us off. Cody says he has a lot of memories in Washington. They're in DC, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
think so.
Oh, that's what I have down. So he has a lot of memories in whatever town they're in. And it's going to be great to create more with main event Jey Uso tonight because Cody's winning the undisputed tag belts with him. And Cody moves on to mention War Games, and he introduces his team. Jey Uso comes out and he does his full entrance. Sami Zayn comes out and he does his entrance. Seth Rollins comes out and he does his entrance. And there was a shit ton of woes in all of that.
There was. Everybody has their little thing.
Yeah. Jay has his little arm thing. Sammy, of course, has the his woes and his olays and his stuffs.
Let's go.
Yeah. And of course, Rollins. And they already got Cody's out of the way. So, yeah, a lot of woes.
Yep.
So Rollins comes out and he. Oh, wait, I already said that. Oh, it was kind of weird to me that Rollins isn't the leader of the team because he's, the title holder.
The champion.
Right.
Yeah, it should be his team.
Since, his belt is on the same level as Roman's and all. Because, if Roman was in War Games, he'd be the leader of the team, right? Without question.
Without even a blink of an eye.
Right. It wouldn't even be a discussion.
Yeah.
So, just kind of interesting. So Cody says they're all together because they want to defeat the Judgment Day. And then Cody and Seth have a little stare down. And then Judgment Day interrupts. So now they're teasing issues with Cody and Seth all of a sudden, even though Seth already agreed to join the team. He was happy and he did his little entrance and he was smiling about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think about, like, other than their, I guess, the matches, that's why they don't like each other. But I mean, there
There,
were matches. Like, Cody had to wrestle him with a torn pec, and he beat him, by the way.
yeah.
So maybe Rollins can't get over that part of it. He beat me with a torn pec. He was half a man, and I couldn't beat him.
Well, it's just that competitive, I don't know, rivalry thing.
Well, it's like that. That's the one win that Rollins
The
needs.
2 wins. Oh, yeah, the 1 win. So, like I said,
yeah, you don't have to beat him twice. You don't have to even the score. You just got to beat him once, so you can say you can beat him. Right now, you can't say that.
I mean, technically, you need to beat him 3 times.
I think if it were me, I just need to beat him once, so I can say that I can beat him. I don't need to even the score.
Because then he would have a good line about, "Oh, you've only beat me once, but I whooped your ass twice, and the second time I did it, I was half a man than you were." And then I have to put my head down and just, God damn it. I challenge you, Cody Rhodes. Now, if you lose again, then you got win fight. It's like craps.
If you lose again, you're done.
So the Judgment Day interrupts. Finn calls Cody and company clowns and says, "How can you beat us at War Games when you can't even look at each other in the eye?" Even though Rollins and Rhodes were like literally face to face before Judgment Day came out. So Priest said, "What?"
I said, "You get it." What he was trying to say.
I guess. I just think that's factually incorrect. Priest says that they're just thrown together, but the Judgment Day is a family. Finn asks Rollins, "How does it feel standing next to Cody? The one man you've never beat?"
See? Finn knows.
I think I need to quit trying to do the Irish accent. Is what I need to see. Priest asks Cody, how does it feel to know you can beat all these guys but never be champion? Which I didn't get that dig.
He can't win the big match.
Oh, okay. So he can beat everybody, but he can't
Yeah,
win the
but
big
when the
one.
title's on the
Oh,
line,
okay.
he can't get over the. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like the Buffalo Bills. You can get to the Super Bowl, but you can't close
Gotcha.
the deal.
Finn calls Sammy a loser. Priest asked everyone if they can trust Jey Uso after he fucked each and every one of them over in the name of the bloodline. Dominic tries to talk. Sammy says, I see what you shitheads are doing. Sammy calls them cheaters, but at Survivor Series, it's war games, and the real power lies with the good guys. Then Cody asks how they found their way to the ring without their leader, Ripley. Priest says, Ripley, the leader. Hold on. Cody says, Ripley, the leader.
Yeah,
My bad. I just had a brain fart. Y'all just witnessed a stroke right on live. All right.
I was like,
I just
he's gonna
fucking
get there.
short circuited. So Cody says, oh, right. She's not here. So does that make Dom the leader? And Priest says, he's not the leader either. And Cody says, oh, I get it. That makes McTurd the leader. And then Priest gets really pissed off at the mention of McTurd being the Judgment Day leader. He's like, Cody! And the crowd oohs because he says, I'm the leader of the Judgment Day.
It was well played by Cody. He
Yeah.
knew McNugget, calling McNugget the leader. That's that one thing you shouldn't say around Priest.
And then the other members of the Judgment Day, they just kind of slowly turn and look at Priest, kind of like, I don't know. It was actually really good. They look like cult members that, like the hive doesn't recognize the drone. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So yeah, it was really well done by the other three. So then Seth tells everyone to shut the fuck up and fight. And he grabs Sammy and challenges McTurd and Dom. Priest accepts on behalf of the Judgment Day and go back to the I caught my parents fucking look. Priest accepts on their behalf and the Judgment Day go back to I caught my parents fucking look. You know?
yeah. They're staring him down the whole way up
Yeah.
the ramp. Like, who's this guy calling himself the leader?
And then McTurd has the audacity to ask Priest what he's doing. Like, he's a guest.
Yeah, so far right now, yeah, he's a guest.
So then Zane Rollins, McTurd, and Dominic have their match. McTurd and Dominic tease walking out, but Zane and Rollins beat their ass on the outside and then drag him back into the ring. Rollins goes for his buckle bomb on Dominic, but McTurd grabs him around the waist from the outside. And Sammy starts kicking the shit out of McTurd and rams his face into the ring post. Rollins tries to go for a pedigree, but Dom ducks under Rollins' legs and trips him. And he goes into the ropes and it sets him up for a 619. But when Dom goes for a 619, he runs right into a fucking super kick, right in the face. Judgment Day with Ripley come out and they attack Rollins before he can do his little curb stomp. Of course, Cody and Jay, they come out and everybody starts fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then security comes out just like last week. McTurd, he takes the spear for Priest. And Pierce says, enough! Y'all fucked up again this week. And bans everyone involved in the War Games match from the arena. So, and that's for the Jey Uso, or the tag team match later on. So everybody's banned. from the arena. So it's just 2-on-2. And Ripley's all pissed off and says Raw needs the Judgment Day. Pierce quotes like old movie lines. He says he runs Raw and says Ripley's face is pretty and runs the "My Dear" line to death.
Yeah.
Then Zoe Stark comes out. Now keep in mind, this is all
One continuous segment.
one continuous segment. So Zoe Stark comes out. Zoe says, we all know that she's in Ripley's head. And Ripley has too much on her plate, and she's overlooking Zoe Stark. So is Stark in Ripley's head, or is she overlooking her?
You asking me?
Yeah. That just seems contradictory. No?
Well,
She
it
starts off
does.
with saying, I'm in your head, Ripley, but you're overlooking me. Which is it?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but
Okay.
it also does seem like she is overlooking Stark.
Well, can you blame her?
Yeah, it just seems like Stark is just there. Like it's,
Yeah,
I don't know. She's not being built as like a credible challenger that can win this match. It just seems like the match is there.
yeah. She's just
She's trying her best, but
yeah. I like
no
Zoe
one
Stark.
believes it.
She's one of the few gems in the women's division for me.
She's
She needs to
definitely
work
good,
on
but
her promos need a little bit of work. I mean, I'm not one to talk. I've been fucking up all night, but I think she's a little. I don't know. She doesn't have that edge to her yet, promo wise. But I love her matches, especially when she wrestles Shayna.
definitely one of the better wrestlers.
Yeah.
But
So
it just seems like as of this match right now, you just don't think. I mean, I don't want to spoil the picks later, but I don't see anybody thinking Rhea Ripley's losing right now.
no doubt. Yeah. Although it would be a shock.
Definitely would be.
Yeah. And what's after Survivor Series?
Um, I think it's the Royal Rumble or it's day one. I don't know if they're running that back this year, day one. But if not, then it's just the Royal Rumble.
So could Ripley and Stark have a rematch at Royal Rumble?
They could, yeah.
Just I know it's unlikely, but let's say Zoe does win. Of course, they'd have to have a rematch, right?
They could, yes, or they would. But I don't know about that because now we're going into WrestleMania season.
Well,
I think
Ripley
they've
would
just
face
been keeping.
Ripley faces whoever's winning the Royal Rumble.
Which I don't know who that is. They've been teasing and keeping Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley apart. So it seems like that's where they're going for WrestleMania. But
I don't know. I
if
could see it
if
being
Rhea
Charlotte again.
loses,
Oh no, they're probably doing Bianca and Charlotte.
no, they're doing. I don't know. I think I think plans have changing around here because I had Charlotte versus Jade Cargill a lock
Oh right.
for WrestleMania. But now it is almost seeming like we just might get EO going into WrestleMania as champion.
I'd be
Like
okay with that
with
too.
the addition of with what Damage Control is right now. I got it. I got it right here. So we're not going to go Charlotte versus Jade Cargill. Maybe we still do, not for the title though. I think EO makes it all the way to WrestleMania as champion, and her opponent will be Bailey.
Okay.
Because they're gonna kick that ass, and then she's gonna need to
Want
get revenge, and then there's your WrestleMania match.
Okay. I personally, if I was going to incorporate Jade Cargill into WrestleMania, I would save her until WrestleMania, and then I would like put her in a match, kind of like King Kong Bundy in WrestleMania 1. Just keep it really, really short. Let her do the shit that she knows how to do really well. And
Yeah,
pick
pump
someone
kick,
that,
jaded. See you later.
yeah. If that's what they want to do. I wouldn't put her in a 20 fucking minute match with Natalia.
Although that would be a good, Natalia would be a good opponent. And
No,
she
she
is
wouldn't.
a,
She'd be an awful opponent. Natalia would expose the fuck out of her. Jade Cargill cannot wrestle. Natalia can. Natalia's from the fucking Stu Hart dungeon. She will fucking stretch the shit out of her, and she'll make her look like a joke. You don't want her to do that. You need
I'm
to put her
saying
with.
Natalia's a hang Hannah herself, so she would be able to guide Jake. We're sounding like Marks right now, so
We're not sounding like marks. We're
that's
sounding like.
this is Mark talk right now.
No, it's not. It's
We're
fucking
talking Mark.
fan talk. Stop being a fag.
Uh-oh. We had a good run. We made it 100 episodes. 300 episodes or whatever we're at. We had a good run. We'll see ourselves out.
Anyway, that's what I would do. I wouldn't put her with Natalia Neidhart. I put her with like Chelsea Green or some shit. I put her with somebody that is experienced enough, but not. Yeah, not Natalia.
Well, don't get this wrong. I don't want Natalia in any way. So I'm not advocating for a Natalia match. I'm just saying Natalia is a ring general, so you wanna make sure someone has a good match. So she's kind of like Chad Gable. You want to make sure someone has a good match. You put him in there with Gable, kind
Okay.
of like that.
Oh, where was I? Oh yeah, Ripley says she's not overlooking Stark. She's known that it's only a matter of time before they face each other. Ripley says Stark is a future champion, but only when she's drafted to a different brand because mommy's always on top. And she tells
Speaking of
Stark,
which, just another little side note. I was shopping, and there was a dude wearing that shirt for Rhea
really?
Ripley. I said, I don't know what I would have to do. I don't, I don't know the scenario that has me leaving the house in that shirt.
Yeah. I used to wear the John Cena US title. Remember the one he had where it was the US title around the waist, the old one?
Oh, yeah. And then it said like "kiss here" or something like that.
Yeah.
You had your innuendos.
I had that. I didn't mind wearing that. But I had that as a gym shirt though, so I guess that doesn't count. Back when I cared about what I looked like.
I think my last ones were like the NWO shirts
I used to buy all the Kevin Owens ones when he first came out.
in NXT.
Yeah. I like the duct tape, and then I got the Montreal Canadian one, and he had another one that's just like the stone block one,
Mm-hmm.
and the red Kevin Owens show.
Yeah, they're good. But I just saw that shirt and I was like, I wonder what it would take for me to leave the house wearing that kind of a shirt. That shirt specifically.
Right.
Like, the same a shirt that says "Mommy's always on top," and it's this lady that you don't even know in person,
That's kind of right up there with like the female body inspector shirt.
or the guy who has a mustache and has the free mustache rides.
Yeah,
Although that's clever.
it is. It was. I mean,
Like you have enough, you have the confidence to go out in that.
especially if you have a good mustache. If you have one of them little wiry rat mustaches, the meth mustaches.
It's got to be like a thick Tom Selleck type.
Yeah, of course. So Ripley tells Stark that she can handle it all because she's Rhea Bloody Ripley. And then Rhea tells Stark to leave her ring and let her continue handling Judgment Day business. Stark says she's taking the belt at Survivor Series, and she either throws the mic at Ripley or she throws it at her feet. Then Ripley tries to attack her from behind. Stark ducks, sends her to the outside of the ring, and then she has like this. Stark has this awkward like top rope standoff with. I don't know if she slipped getting up there or what, but it was kind of awkward. And then the segment finally fucking ends.
Yeah. I mean, I think she was supposed to hold off, so that's why it looked so awkward.
Okay,
But
it was weird.
yeah.
So then Shinsuke Nakamura has a video package. He says he's frustrated and impatient, and he's chosen his opponent. Then Nakamura says he will bide his time like all the other Asian wrestlers do these days. And that's pretty much it.
And I'm still guessing that he is talking about Sami Zayn.
Well, I don't know. He actually challenged somebody, though.
I know, but he said he's going to wait.
Okay.
So it tells me that the person who he's challenging, and by the way,
That doesn't make
it's
that
it's
doesn't
gone
make any sense,
crazy.
though. I'm gonna wait to challenge somebody, but in the meantime, I'm gonna challenge somebody.
He didn't challenge no one yet.
Yes, he did.
He said he's picked his opponent, but he didn't challenge anybody.
He did.
He got challenged.
No, 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 no.
Who did he challenge?
Gable.
Did he challenge Gable? I thought
He
Gable challenged him.
no, no, no. Well, I mean, Gable may have like actually put the first challenge. Nakamura pushed his head like as Gable was tending to Otis. Um,
That
Shinsuke
wasn't a
just kind
challenge.
of
That was
slammed
just
his.
him punking him.
What was he gonna do? Come on, don't be naive. Don't do that.
Like
Don't
he
be a
had no
mark, bro.
intentions. He had no intentions of a match at that point. He was just saying, "Hey,
Bullshit. He stopped. He had the little cocky look, and then no, no. Come on, we'll wait. I don't know why we're skipping ahead because Cody asked for a word with Seth Rollins before all of that. And Cody tells Rollins that he only needs him for one night. Then they can hate each other for the rest of their lives. Rollins says, I don't like you, but I respect you. At War Games, we're good. And in my mind, Rollins was already a part of the team, so this whole fucking interaction makes absolutely no sense.
it didn't."
We could have cut all of that, and we would have still been at the same place. So now,
Yeah.
Nakamura and Otis, they have a match. Otis was too fat for Shinsuke to wrestle at first. Otis did Shinsuke's shaky legs. Shinsuke hit 3 Kinshasas for the win for some reason. I don't know why you needed 3 of them.
Because it's Otis. Uh-huh.
Exactly.
You just
Nakamura
don't
tells Gable he wants some, and then he does the come on thing outside the ring after he pushes his head down and
This
gets
is
in
all
Gable's face.
taunting. This is all taunting. It's not
What
asking
does
for a
come on
match.
mean? What does come on mean? Come
That's his thing.
on!
That's his thing. That's his
Come
taunt.
on! With his little wide eyes and mouthpiece.
Yeah, he's taunting
His,
him
his
because he
quarter
knew
squat position.
he knew Gable couldn't come get him right now because
Bullshit. No, he
he's
challenged
tending
him.
to
That is a
Otis.
fucking challenge.
That's not a
Come on. He
challenge.
got physical and he said, come in.
It's not a
And then
challenge.
yeah. So it makes no sense for him to challenge Gable and say, I'm biding my time to challenge somebody. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
That's a fucking challenge.
I still think he is whoever he's challenging is in the War Games match, and that's why he's waiting because he's waiting for them to finish War Games so that he can properly challenge his competitor. Now, if you look online, There's a big section of the geeks. I should say geeks for the one guy. So there's a big, a big section of people, nerds, that think Shinsuke is talking directly to one CM Punk.
That'd be cool.
It would be. It'd be a waste though,
Why?
because Shinsuke, they're trying to build him up, and he's just like doing all this to get what would be squashed by Punk.
It wouldn't be squashed. They'd have a good match.
And I would say,
Whoa,
you know,
whoa, whoa,
Punk.
whoa, 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 whoa! Hold on. Let's take a step back here. Punk is not the squashing type. I can't think of a time he squashed anybody.
Well, okay, so he wouldn't squash him, but he'd beat him, bury him.
He wouldn't
That would
bury
be a
him.
more accurate term.
He wouldn't bury him at all. They'd have a good match.
Okay, but this is my second part of the issue here. So CM Punk has been out of the WWE for what is it, 8, 9, 10 years maybe now, because he was out. You know, he was out of wrestling for 7 years, and his little stint in AEW. So to say that all totals like 8, 9 years, whatever the number is,
Mm-hmm.
and you're bringing him back off of a 9 year hiatus for Shinsuke Nakamura. That
What's wrong with that?
seems like it's falling flat. Now, if Nakamura was the champion, now that makes more sense. But I think
So
if
10-year
you
hiatus and CM Punk automatically gets a title shot.
I don't know. I just think
That makes more
it
sense
needs to
than
be
having a quality match with. I mean, they're building Shinsuke up. He's not a joke.
building. What if he comes back and he don't want this smoke, but what if he comes back and then his return match is against Solo Sokoa? Again, he doesn't want that smoke. So put that work on him. But
So
I'm
ain't
just saying
the
you need a bigger name value, maybe, than Shinsuke.
Punk ain't Fruity Pebbles though. He'll hold his own. He beat
He could
Samoa Joe. That's the same thing.
nah.
Oh yeah.
Solo's on a different level now.
No. He's pretty much Samoa Joe.
He's okay. Never mind. Go next.
Fair enough. Rollins and McIntyre, they run into each other. McIntyre says that Rollins told him if he lost a crown jewel that he only has himself to blame. McIntyre tells Rollins that he was right. He says, there's something I've been wanting to give you since Crown Jewel, and he offers his hand. Then they shake hands and walk off. Okay. Piggy Niven. And then I have a picture of a pig mounting a woman.
Okay.
It's the only note I have for the match.
She wrestled. I forgot who she wrestled. Was it Tegan Knox?
I have a pig mounting a woman.
She wrestled Tegan Knox. They were really trying to build Tegan Knox. Remember, everybody was slurping her. Oh, you didn't win, but you can be champion or whatever the hell they were doing with her. So yes, Piper Niven, Tegan Knox, boring match. Knox wins off of a roll up.
Man, just no respect for the tag. Why are the tag champions not in the War Games match? Might as well, because I don't know when we're talking about the tag champions again.
I don't know. It is a little weird that they're. Well, I mean, it's. I don't know. I guess
I know storyline wise, it doesn't make sense, but you would think that you would want the top team there. You can't have Io. She's on the other side. You can't have Ripley because you had her last year. She probably doesn't want to lose again. Why wouldn't you have the tag champions? And it
I
would make
guess
more
there's just
sense.
no space for them.
Kick Shotzi off.
That's the babyface side. They're heels.
Are they?
Yeah.
No. Okay. I don't know what they are. I saw
They're
them dress.
heels.
I saw them dress up as clowns on the Halloween Raw. So I think they're clowns.
Well, they're actually dressed up as the Heart Foundation. So I don't know why you would call them clowns, but
No, they were dressed up as like fucking. Weren't they dressed up as Super Mario or some shit?
not during the match. During the match, they were dressed up as the Hart Foundation. Chelsea Green was Bret Hart. Niven was Neidhart.
But did they dress up as Super Mario Brothers?
I'm saying, I don't know. Maybe they did at some point, but not during the match.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it past Chelsea Green to have multiple outfits throughout the day.
I'm just saying, those are your tag champions. You're having a War Games match. They're not in it. Like think about the the Four Horsemen
Who you
days.
gonna kick out?
I told you, Shotzi. Becky Lynch
She's
and
on the
Shotzi.
babyface side. I'm saying you got to if you're putting
Then
the tag
then
team,
flip the
that's
tag
two
champions face.
for that just for War Games.
You're already doing a lot of shit just for War Games.
I don't think you were doing anything just for War Games.
Yeah,
No, bigger plan here.
Shotzi's being in a preliminary match just for War Games. Bianca and Charlotte are teaming up just for War Games. Becky Lynch is coming over to the SmackDown side just for War Games.
Not just for War Games. It's all tied in. Bianca's been feuding with Damage Control forever. Charlotte's been feuding with Damage Control forever.
Okay.
Shotzi's there.
Okay.
Her and Charlotte Flair have this weird jock and little nerd kid thing going on.
Which could easily you could replace her with
Oh,
Chelsea.
oh,
Easily replace her with Chelsea.
we can't walk down the hall together. You know, we're cool though. I just, I don't want to walk down the hall with you. Maybe we could just like meet on the other side of the of the school.
I don't know. I just think that the tag champion should be involved. That's all.
Okay. Why were we talking about the tag champions?
Because Piggy Niven had her match.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So Lady talks to Miz backstage. The lady asks, what's driving Miz to wanting to dethrone Gunther? Miz says to restore the respect to his Intercontinental title legacy. Miz does a really bad Schwarzenegger impression as he's talking about Gunther.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was good, but I mean, it was just, I don't know. It was the same standard nasally, I'm Arnold.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah. All right. So then Ivar interrupts and tells Miz he's not making it past him to Survivor Series. Now, it was a huge mistake having Ivar speak, in my opinion. He sounds like a fucking nerd cosplaying as a Viking instead of an actual fucking Viking. Now say what you want about... Huh?
He's supposed to sound like Eric. Now Eric has a deep ass voice.
Something. He sounds like oh my lady. He needs minstrel music now. The that fucking fluty music now because he's just fucking role playing now. In
He's
my
not
eyes,
role playing.
yes, he's not a fucking Viking.
So he's not a Viking because he has a soft voice.
He has a nerd voice. He didn't even try. He just has a normal speaking voice. He didn't even like idea. Now,
I don't know. He's into
think
that
about
Viking culture.
think about WrestleMania, the old school WrestleManias and Hercules.
Well, they really lived their thing.
Exactly. But come on, give
They really
me
tried to get their
something.
thing over.
Is Ivar not trying to get over as a single?
He is. I'm
I
just
don't
saying
see how
that's
he's gonna.
his.
I just don't see how he's gonna get over sounding like the fucking GameStop employee larping as a Viking. He could have
Well, I
put
don't
some
think the
bass to
kids
his
today
voice. That's
know.
all. Pardon?
I was just saying I don't think the kids today know.
Well, the kids today are stupid. Then
They don't know that back then they did the characters like the giant, how he talked forever. He put some bass in his voice.
he still sounds like that. He just doesn't shout. That's the thing. He was decibel 11 in his WCW promos.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's just my take on Ivar. So then Bronzy Reed interrupts to tell both of them that Gunther's lucky he doesn't have to face him again. Then Ivar tells him in his geek voice that he had his chance and failed. And again, anytime he speaks, I hear that flute music, that Renaissance fair music. And then Bronson tells Ivar to go back to his cubicle. Ivar says, "Make me." Bronson slaps Ivar's beard. Ivar pie faces Reed. Then Reed has a stare down with the deer, while Ivar nods his head like he just did something badass. And then Ivar and the deer walk away, while Reed just seethes.
Who's the face and who's the heel in that scenario?
Nobody.
Triple H is not afraid to do the heel versus heel, face versus face thing.
I do kind of enjoy that. It is,
It is nice, but now you can't tell who you're supposed to be rooting for.
you just root for whoever you like. Isn't that
I
what
guess
people
that
do
is
anyway?
I guess that is the play.
Or you just appreciate either they're telling a story or you just appreciate what they're showing you. Or it sucks. There is that too. So Ciampa and Kaiser have a match. Vinci grabs Ciampa's leg and the ref kicks him out of the ringside. Ciampa's rolling driver thing is really awesome. Or Kaiser's rolling driver thing is really awesome. It's a thing of beauty. Everything he does is very crisp.
I do want to point out just real quick. We'll have to go deep here. I do notice that Kaiser, um, he's one of the wrestlers because I noticed with the old school, like they didn't try to like get their hands up to soften the punches or whatever.
Yeah.
And I noticed Kaiser does that too. Like when Champa was like doing the corner punches, he was like he had his hands down, he didn't have them up. So he's just taking the hits, and then there's a couple other moves where like he had his hands down to his side to take the it was the forearms. He was getting the forearms, and he had his hands down to his side to take the brunt force.
He puts
I know
trust
I'm
in his.
marking out again, but that's just a little thing. We're gonna have to
It's
do a
so
thing. It's gonna be like marking out, and then we
it's so
just.
sad that you're ashamed of being a fan. Stop being so self-loathing.
I'm a fan. A fan.
Exactly.
I try not to get into the technical. Oh, yeah, that he over rotated and
You're
no,
a fan of football, right?
yes,
Do you ever talk about the plays like, "Oh, he should have ran this way," or they should have ran this play?
that's different.
No, it's not.
No, I'm not talking about.
Or why do you throw it
Maybe I
like
do.
that? Why do you throw it there? Oh, you could have
Maybe I
caught
do
that.
that sometimes, but
You
then
could have
that's
caught
marking
that.
out too.
If I
That's
was there, I
marking
could
out
have
too.
caught that. No, it's not. It's being a fan. That's all it is.
But when you're talking about, oh, look at his footwork, he should have took a 5-step drop, not a 3-step drop. No, that's kind of marking out. You're not playing quarterback. What are you doing counting his feet?
Well, okay, yeah, when you get that detail, but I'm generally speaking though, that's what we're doing. That's what you were just doing. You were talking generally. You weren't talking about, oh, well, in this wrist lock, you need to apply it this way. You didn't go into the science of their headlocks and shit. You're just talking about what you're seeing. There's nothing wrong with that. Stop hating yourself.
Well, I try not to talk about the moves. I just talk
Well,
about the reactions and how I feel. Anyway, yeah, that's that. I did want to praise Kaiser for that whole thing, though.
yeah.
There's probably other people that do it too, but I just noticed it during that match.
You were talking about how cool it was for you to see him taking a punch
Yes.
without covering his face like everybody else does, which makes it look fake. And the whole thing, again, just like any movie, if it was obviously fake, you'd point that out. Just like any
Yes.
fan.
But yeah, that's all I want to say.
Yeah. So Ciampa goes for his Rings of Saturn. Vinci kicks Gargano in the face on the outside, and that distracts Ciampa.
But he was supposed to be banned from ringside.
Well, Vinci plays by his own rules, and it was his strategy to get kicked out. It'll all be explained later by the ring.
Yeah.
This distracts Ciampa, so Kaiser can lock up a roll up for the win. And good for Kaiser for getting a win. Unfortunately, they're probably still stuck in the Groundhog Day program with this DIY thing.
Well, obviously they're gonna have a blow off tag team match, which will be a good match. But yeah,
They would, I
you gotta
guess.
care about DIY.
No, it wouldn't be a good match because Gargano's in it.
Oh, there you go. You're talking about Mr. Takeover, Johnny Wrestling. There's a reason he's Johnny Wrestling. We just haven't
Mr.
been able to see it on the main roster.
Mr. Smaller than Rey Mysterio. Yeah.
Which is what I'm going to bring up later on.
Okay. So Judgment Day have a backstage segment. Ripley gives Priest shit for saying that he's the leader. Priest says he lost his temper and he didn't mean what he said, even though he said it. He took accountability for what he said, but he didn't mean it. Ripley says it didn't sound like it, but it does sound good for War Games. So Ripley appoints Priest as the War Games leader. So Ripley appoints Priest as the War Games leader.
Yep, because there's no leaders.
Right. So she's pissed off that the Priest said he was the leader, but then she just made the shot. Or called the shot. It's really fucking the logic here. Then they say that they're going to make McTurd a full Judgment Day member, and Priest wants to handle it himself. And he goes to do that. Xia Li and Indy Hartwell have a match. And Tyson, if you allow me, if you're listening, you know who you are, and you wooed Xia Li's little karate dance during her entrance, fuck you, and I hope your eyes spontaneously melt out of your head. Thank you, Tyson. They replayed Xia kicking Becky in the head, and then
Are you talking about the fan?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to. I tried to let you go, but I just had to ask.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I am. There's that one person who wooed. Fuck you. Anyway, they replayed Xia kicking Becky. I don't know why that just rubbed me wrong. It just you know that scene in Kill Bill where Uma Thurman just sees the red and it plays that music?
Yeah.
That happened. I don't know why. That just rubbed me wrong. So fuck you. They replayed Xia kicking Becky in the head and then being surprised when Pierce wouldn't let her compete in the women's battle royal. So Xia attacks Becky when she's entering the women's battle royal. And then Pierce is like, no, Xia, you can't compete in the battle royal now because you just eliminated somebody who couldn't compete earlier. And then Xia was all surprised that happened. And I just think Xia looks like a fucking idiot. She looks like the. You ever work with that girl in the office that doesn't quite understand things? She's like from somewhere else.
No,
I'm not saying that I'm not saying she's dumb, but she just doesn't get how things work.
not the foreign girl. I have worked
Okay.
with like a ridiculously attractive girl, more than one, that just didn't get it.
Well, that's another discussion.
And then this girl, by the way, this was at the second job, not the first one, but the second one. This girl, like, she would ask a question and then she have like the whole office helping her. And then me, I would ask a question and crickets, never get any
Get
help.
out of here.
And me and this other dude, we actually made a joke of it because we noticed, oh, when we ask questions, they never get answered. But when she asks a question, everybody in the building answers.
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah, we made a joke of it. It was like, oh, look. And then there would be times where I would ask a question, she would ask a question, and this is in like a Slack chat. She would ask the question directly below mine. So, my question, her question, no space in between, no time in between. She asked the question, boom, everybody's like answering her question. It's like she's not gonna, she's not sleeping with all of you. I don't know what you're doing.
Well, at least you don't have to physically see people falling over themselves to rush to her desk or something, which is always
Right.
fun to see from afar. If you're next to
Yeah.
it, it's kind of annoying.
Oh, you want my whole paycheck? I got you.
Yeah. Excuse me, and you got five guys just fighting
Yeah.
to the death to scratch and claw to get to there first.
Or they have some kind of bro code. It's my turn, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, if you want to be civil. If you want to be gentlemen about it.
We have to fight to the death. Be like that one story where the guy sticks the knife in the table and is like, one of us is walking out of here.
Yeah. uh, so Zaya would be fun as hell to watch if her character wasn't so dumb. Just wanted to say that again. Zaya kicks Hartwell in the head, and the match is stopped. And I'm wondering, how many Kinshasas did Otis have to take? To the head?
3.
To the side and the back of the head?
Because he's a tree trunk.
Okay. This is very inconsistent with the match stoppage shit. I don't know, like, if
Well,
you're
that's because Xia Li is a beast and she
I
knocked
get
that
I
ass
get
out.
I get what they're doing. It just seems like it's not consistent because they don't normally stop matches. So for them to just specifically stop a match for one person, I don't know, it's weird. Like if every now and then they would have a match stoppage for something.
If it was a consistent thing.
Yeah. And then you have somebody come in that just has nothing but match stoppages. To me that makes more sense.
Well, I think it makes sense because, yeah, it doesn't happen often. So it's a jarring thing when it does happen. Oh, well, that's what they're going for. It's a shock. Oh, she knocked her out.
Well, I'm not saying
So
have a match stoppage every week, but like, I don't know, once a month or once every other month. You just so that they're not unfamiliar and it's not obvious that you're just booking somebody to look strong. So when they lose to Becky later, it'll
next
mean
week.
something for Becky. Anyway, so Becky comes out. She screams about fighting Lee. I assume I didn't want to watch anything that she had to offer.
Pretty much, yeah. She just said that she comes to get her revenge on Lee. Lee backs out again, and she said, "It's not on your time. It's my time. It's on my time." That's what Lee said, right? She's
Mhm.
still waiting on her time, whatever that is. And then Becky Lynch says, "It's enough. I talked to Adam Pierce, and we're doing this next week." And then she said, "Welcome to the big time."
Cool.
So next week we have Xia Li versus Becky Lynch. Finally get the blow off of. Oh, and apparently Xia Li is also getting a title match on NXT. I don't know.
Okay. Well, let us know how that happens or how that goes.
I won't be watching NXT, so
Oh, I meant the match with
oh,
Becky.
the Becky match.
Yeah.
I'm very open about not watching NXT, but we didn't get to mention this, so I just want to mention this real quick.
Yep.
NXT has landed a deal with the C Dub, so they're going to the CW,
Okay.
and they get the prime time slot and all that. So big deal for them, I guess. Well, I mean, the number that was circling around that they got, very big deal for them. I think it was like 25 million, I want to say, for NXT, which is like huge.
Does SmackDown have a new home?
I think they're going and yeah, SmackDown's going to USA. Raw doesn't have a home yet,
Oh, okay.
which is weird
Well,
because that's supposed to be the A show.
yeah. What all? They need to do something. Gunther is on Raw.
Yeah, it's the A show. They're supposed to be. They should have it locked down.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know where they go.
I just think
Maybe
it
they go back to Spike TV, and then people like the one person who has Spike TV gets to watch it.
right. I just think the interest in wrestling is dying.
I don't think it is. I think it's like, well, mass interest, yes, but I don't think. Yeah, I mean, you got people who's watching it, and they're just gonna watch it. The
Yeah.
casual fan, they're gonna move on to something else, and then if something is interesting, they'll come back, and then they get shamed for just being a new fan, and then they leave again because they're getting shamed because they're a new fan. Oh, just because I started watching 2 years ago doesn't mean I'm less of a fan than you because you've been watching for 20 years. This
Well,
actually happened.
just just think about being a casual though. You turn on Raw and you see some guy, some Best Buy Geek Squad repairman dressed as a Viking next to a deer, talking to Big Bronson Reed. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to watch that again.
I guess it depends on what you're looking for.
Well, I
I
mean, who would be looking for that?
don't know. Someone might.
Okay. I would just think that I would think that a casual in their head would like have Stone Cold or Hulk Hogan or that type of stuff. Undertaker, The Rock, the big names, Brock Lesnar.
Well, that is what they do.
So you turn it on and you see some guy LARPing as a Viking, not even trying, and you don't know
Well, I
what
don't think
wrestling
they
is.
even get that far.
Well, yeah, they would because I mean, they're not going to start at the beginning of Raw. They're going to start at like 9 o'clock. They don't know what fucking time Raw starts.
No, I mean even get as far as to hear him talk. Like you see
Oh,
him, and then that's enough.
that's fair. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my point's moot then.
Like my brother, he's a I would say he's a casual, not even a casual. Like he'll hardly ever watch wrestling, just in passing. And I was watching many years ago. I'm watching wrestling. Kevin Owens is the champion,
Yeah.
and he's a casual fan. He said, "Man, WWE's really fallen off if that's the champion," because all he saw was Kevin Owens' body, and
Right.
then, he made his judgment based off of that only.
That's
And it's
true.
like, and I didn't have time to explain. No, but this guy, like, he just looked at him and he said, I mean, You're really in trouble if that's your champion.
That's funny. Cornette said that, or he says that about modern wrestling. Everybody looks like it just looks like any other people or just everyday people now. There's nobody that like you have Brock Lesnar,
Right.
Roman Reigns to an extent. I don't think he's physically. I don't think he's as imposing as Brock Lesnar, but I still wouldn't want to cross Roman Reigns in a dark alley.
Yeah, he still makes me want to take a shower with the shirt on because
Right.
he's like, I don't even feel comfortable
Well,
showering with my shirt off right
yeah,
now.
but of course you have the Ring General. But then
It's
you,
all
you
about what Vinnie Mac used to talk about, the airport tests.
yeah.
You got to see the guys in the airport and know they're a professional wrestler.
And I'm not
But
saying that they need to be steroid freaks like they were. I mean, I appreciate the athleticism, but I do want somebody. I don't want somebody that looks like me in the ring wrestling and being champion. That's not fucking fun. I want to watch Arnold Schwarzenegger beat the shit out of people and snap their necks in unrealistic ways.
right,
Think about think about if Larry the Cable Guy was the Terminator.
right.
Get her done. Like no.
Yeah, there's got to be a look to it. But I don't know. Back then, everybody was enhancing, so that's why they
Yeah.
all looked like they did. Yeah, you don't need to do that, but at least you can't enhance height. You can have the height.
Mm. Well, Cody Rhodes, he looks like a star. He looks like a I don't know a WWE superstar. That's what they're supposed to be. But then
Yeah,
you have Gargano with his little patchy beard and his barely being able to clear the uh, the top rope as far as height.
but he can wrestle.
He can
It'd be,
he can jump around. I disagree on the wrestling.
if I wasn't like afraid of people, you know, there's the like other channels who do like the on the street type stuff where they go on the street and talk to people with their little Rode microphone, put it in their face.
Yeah.
It'd be fun if I could do like just hold a picture of a professional wrestler. Someone can take this idea if you can talk, if you're not afraid of people. Take it on your channel, you get a million views, go for it. But you show people just a portrait of a modern wrestler and it's like, what do you think he does for a living?
Can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
Are you so do you envision asking somebody what they think of X wrestler and then getting stabbed in the neck or something?
No. I'm just saying, going up to someone cold. Who does that anymore?
Everybody.
No, you don't approach people cold.
Yeah, you gotta have your phone out and everything, and just put in their face. Hey, what's your favorite wrestler?
Yeah.
Oh, please take
No,
my
but it's
money.
like if you hold a portrait up and say, what do you think he does for a living, and then see like how many actual wrestlers can get recognized as a wrestler.
I do think it would be fun. This is totally unrelated. Well, sort of related. It'd be fun to like go to the hood and ask ask what they think of of their favorite wrestler or of ex wrestler.
I'd
I bet you get some.
probably be more comfortable doing that than just like approaching someone walking on the sidewalk. Oddly enough.
I don't know. I guess it depends.
No, I'm saying I would. I'd be more comfortable
Oh,
doing that than approaching someone just walking on the sidewalk. And what if it's like a
well,
female too? Golly, I'd be shitting
yeah,
my
that's
pants.
you're in. That's you're in. Hey, I like wrestling. Now we can do it.
Like I'd have to before I approach, I'd have to shit and throw up, and then now I'm smelling like shit and throw up, and I'm going over to her.
Are you?
Hey, what do you what do you think of this person? Uh, you okay? Yeah, don't worry. Anyway,
You're you sound like a manly man.
I know, right?
Throwing up. Although I talk shit, but I don't even know if I get there. Oh wait, if she's there in 2 weeks. I'll ask her
Don't even we don't
about
even need to
Gargano
get
then.
into that. There's a whole nother thing we can get into there. We'll be waiting there for hours so you can say, how's it going?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair enough. So Gunther congratulates Miz. Gunther calls Miz Mike, which I thought was funny. And to the surprise of everyone, Miz won last week, even though it wasn't decisive. Funny games are now over because you're challenging what is rightfully mine, says Gunther. Miz actually tells Gunther he doesn't know what he's dealing with, and he tries to sell us that he's an actual threat. Gunther, of course, laughs at him because he's a talk show host and wishes him good luck in his match against Ivar. Because whatever happens out there, it will not compare to the beating of a lifetime you will receive at Survivor Series.
Gunther being Gunther.
Yep. Badass Gunther. So Miz and the LARPer have a match. The deer is also there. Bronson distracts Ivar so Miz can win while using the ropes. And still wastes whatever singles build he had to me.
And the Miz rolls someone up again that's way bigger than him.
Yeah. Like they try to make Ivar still look or like credible because Bronson Reed distracted him, but and then Miz had to use the ropes, but it's I don't know. It just seems like a waste of this run that Ivar was on. I don't. To me, it makes more sense for him to be where the Miz is because he's the one that's been on a win streak. The Miz is a fucking talk show host. The last time we saw him, he was getting BTF'd by LA Knight, and before that, he was it Logan Paul.
I don't think it was before that. I mean, it was before that, but I don't think it was like directly that close. That was back at WrestleMania, whenever that was.
Yeah, isn't that the last time he wrestled?
It could be. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just saying it's this is not a credible threat for Gunther,
Nor should it be, nor is it. Unfortunately,
and
I
it
know
makes
you're
more.
gonna have to. I was thinking you're gonna have to actually deal with the Miz is gonna get some offense in this Gunther match. Miz is gonna get some offense. You're gonna have to cope with that.
Oh, we'll see how it works. Although I wish it was just a T-Rex jump kick and then that's it, a power bomb and some more power bombs, and then that's a match stoppage. That makes more sense
Yeah, but you're gonna
than
get
a little.
some Miz offense. Miz may get a little tornado DDT that he's been doing for the last few weeks. He's definitely gonna get his Miz kicks, it kicks. he might get a near fall. He might even hit the skull crushing finale, and then Gunther kick out at 2. This all might happen. Well, some of
Oh,
it will
Gunther.
happen. The skull crushing finale might happen.
I hope Gunther doesn't sell anything.
Oh, he's gonna sell. The Miz is gonna get a 2 count. You understand? This is happening.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. So Reed tsunamis Ivar and laughs at the deer post match. After that, McTurd and Priest have a moment backstage. Priest tells McTurd a part of him thinks he's not ready. A part of him thinks he's not ready yet, and a bigger part of him still gets really annoyed by the sight of McTurd. McTurd nods knowingly at the last part, like, yeah, I get that a lot. Priest tells McTurd that he took one for the team tonight, and that's somebody he can stand with. Priest gives McTurd a leather jacket, and the crowd doesn't seem very excited about this. They seem, we can go get some popcorn, some nachos.
Yeah, I think it was more of a "it's about time" type feeling there. I will say it was.
Yeah.
I like the jacket. Looked kind of cool with the Irish ace. Got the beads on it. But none of the other guys do they wear jackets in the in the Judgment Day?
I don't
I
know.
don't think anybody has a jacket. He has a jacket.
I don't know what they do. I don't really pay attention to them, to be honest.
Oh, well, there you go. Finally, he's in.
Yeah. Finally. I know Priest kind of, he dresses like he's from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think I like the purple, but I think it doesn't fit him. I don't know why. I just think it's too flashy. He's trying to be like a dark badass.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he takes inspiration from Razor Ramon or Scott Hall.
Yeah. That's fine. I appreciate that. That's why I don't completely hate him. But there's just something about him that just doesn't make me want to see him win a whole lot of matches, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not excited for his title run, when and if it happens.
If it happens. The jury's still
Right.
out on that.
We'll see. So after that, Gunther shows he's not a bullshitter. Gunther congratulates Imperium for defeating Ciampa. Kaiser says, it's just another night to show what Ludwig Kaiser is all about. Gunther, stone face, the entire time says, I wasn't talking to you. Gunther turns to Vinci with a big smile on his face and slaps him on the shoulder. Well done, Vinci. Vinci looks like the run of the litter that finally gets pet, and Kaiser looks like the hot cheerleader that's rejected for the fat color guard whore. Gunther tells Vinci that he won the match for Imperium, all jovial when he turns to Kaiser. The smile disappears. Gunther says nothing and then walks away. Vinci laughs at Kaiser. Kaiser almost gets into it with Indus after that. Like, what are you looking at? And, oh shit, his name is escaping me.
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal. Thank you. He says, oh, we're just passing through, but if I were you, I would consider your next move wisely. While Indus is staring intently at Kaiser. Which I wish Imperium was built up enough to where that would be fucking intriguing. The Ring General versus, Indus little thing. And when the fuck is Indus gonna wrestle? They keep just popping up every now and then. Is one of them hurt?
I don't know. But I will say Veer's beard game was on point. I will say that.
Oh yeah, I appreciate both of their beards, to be honest with you. Alpha Academy has a backstage segment. Otis apologized for losing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The, the Creed brothers come in to suggest that they should be the coaches since they've won only 2 matches. Then the New Day come in with cereal, and I wrote "fuck everyone in
That's where
this."
you lost him.
Yep, I saw cereal.
So the Creeds said, they're 2-0, and soon enough they're going to be.
Just I bet the New Day is so fucking egotistical that they have like 20-year-old bootios still that they're eating. Oh, it's our cereal, dog.
Still
Sorry.
pretty good. Oh, anyway, I need to get a box. Anyway, uh, yeah. What was I saying? Diamond Mine. So they're saying, yeah, we're 2-0, and pretty soon we're going to be tag team champions because we're undefeated. And then in walks the New Day, and they'd say, hey, if we're talking about tag team champions, you can't be talking about the tag team titles without talking about the New Day. And then Tozawa, he grabs Tozawa. I don't know why it cracks me up so much. He grabs uh, their local team belt because if you notice, every city they're in, they get the belt for that city or state or wherever closest team. So he grabs the Washington football team, or what are they now? The
And real quick,
Commanders.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
he.
I call them the Redskins.
Oh, that's because I call them the racial slurs. But
Yeah.
anyway, he grabs
See,
the.
we don't either. The point is, we don't call them the stupid Commanders.
Yeah, so he grabs the title, and then he starts doing his little thing, side to side, slow. Then he's picking it up. Then he's going faster. He's going faster. And this is just like stepping side to side, of course. And then doing the raise the title. And then Xavier Wood says, Tozawa, you nasty. And then everybody's like, oh, even Diamond Mine in the background. Oh, I don't know why it cracks me up so much, but it does.
Who's Diamond Mine?
The Creed brothers.
Oh, is that their name?
It's their group with the.
Oh,
I don't know. So it's a dojo thing. It's like their little training group, like Alpha Academy, and then you have Diamond Mine.
okay.
Which brings me to the one point that I was kind of disappointed because you have Diamond Mine and you have Alpha Academy. I thought there was going to be like they could do some kind of like, oh, our training thing is better, and then that's the feud. Like who's training dojo or whatever is better.
Who knows? They might still do that
They could.
arbitrarily.
Yeah, I think it's just written in, or they could call up Chase University and then feud them with Alpha Academy. And who's the best university? Who's the best learning academy? Kind of like Michigan, Ohio State. Kind of, you know, you do that, but in
Yeah.
wrestling. I don't know. Just thought it'd be funny, but that was the segment.
All right. Real quick, you mentioned the title belt for Washington. They did that for Indiana too because they were in Evansville for SmackDown.
Yeah.
And Road Dogg says, "I got the belt before Pat McAfee." Pat McAfee came out with his on the last pay per view
He sure
he
did.
was on. So just wanted to point that out. I don't know if I have that written down SmackDown, and I don't know if we'll talk about the title belt again. So Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso wrestle Damian Priest and Finn Balor again. McIntyre claymores Jey Uso so Balor and Priest can win. And it looks like they're going McIntyre versus Uso over Rhodes versus McIntyre. Or does Cody jump ahead because he needs to defend his friend?
Well, first of all, there were so many layers to this McIntyre thing. So
Mm-hmm.
many layers to that onion. Because first of all, he didn't touch Cody. He touched Jay. So that was one thing.
Right.
Number two, Rhea brought him in, and if you could see the look on Finn and Damien's Priest's face, they didn't know what was happening. And then he shakes hands with Rhea, so they got the little alliance there with Rhea. But Damien just earlier said he's the leader, so that's another layer.
Right.
But I think he goes when feuds with Jay possibly first. I think
Okay.
we can hold off on the Cody. Well, it's almost Royal Rumble, so I guess they're gonna have to do it. If they're gonna do it before WrestleMania, they got to do it now. But I think he goes Jay Uso first.
Okay. I think so too. I wouldn't be surprised if Cody jumps ahead because it's Cody. But if they want to do the slow burn, I guess they can go that route. But you mentioned Ripley and McIntyre shaking hands. So do you think McIntyre is just temporary, or do you think he's Judgment Day now?
I don't think he's Judgment Day. I think he's just like he's helping them out. And I scratch your back,
Okay.
you scratch mine thing, but he's not like in the group.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
Now I did see somewhere that the idea is they're going to be kicking Priest out and then add McIntyre, so like a swap there.
poor McIntyre.
But yeah, I think and it would make more sense if he's just like his own heel, and then when I need you, I
Yeah.
need you.
He doesn't need to be in a group. He's been in groups.
Yeah, a solo heel run is what they need.
Yeah. But that was Raw.
That was Raw. We end with Drew McIntyre shaking Rhea Ripley's hands.
Now, what do you think about the War Games build for Cody and Team Cody versus Team Judgment Day?
I think it's so far so good.
Okay.
It's chaos,
Yeah, there's definitely chaos.
but yeah, it's
It
good
just
chaos.
it just seems like the same shit. All these motherfuckers have been wrestling each other since WrestleMania. It's just old.
It is. Hopefully, this is the blow off to it all. But
That's what we said. That's what we said like 4 pay-per-views ago.
I'm just saying, this has got to be it. This is War Games. War Games. Like,
We'll
how could
see.
it be more stuff after that? And I'm sure it will be, but how can it? But that goes back to what I was saying last week. The women, I think they should main event this War Games pay per view. Now that it's officially
Okay.
announced, I think the women should main event.
Well, I think it should be the well, no. Yeah, you're right. No, it should be Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark.
It's a main event.
Yeah, why not?
Uh, I don't know, because we just talked about it. Zoe didn't have. She's kind of getting overlooked in this whole deal.
Yeah, but in terms of okay, so you have Gunther versus The Miz. Gunther, of course, is main event, but Miz, no. And it's for that Intercontinental title. And even Gunther admits that it's the number 2 title. There's a pecking order for a reason. So you have Rhea Ripley, who is, the women's world champion, versus Zoe Stark, who, yeah, she's not Becky Lynch or Charlotte or Bianca, but she's not Chelsea Green either.
Yeah,
You got the men's war game match, which we've seen this shit since WrestleMania. So if that's the first match, I'd be okay with that. You have the women's match. Okay, yeah, I could see that being the main event too. Actually, no, you're right. That's probably a better Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it or talking it out, you're right. Never mind. I changed my or
You talked it
I
out.
respectfully withdraw. Yeah, I withdraw what I just said and concede the point to you, sir.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I just see, uh, because yeah, they've been doing this on the man side. They've been doing this since forever. So yeah, I just think the
Right.
women, and with the accumulation of talent that's in that match, just give them the main event. It might be one of those where you look back in years and it's like, wow, that was really a stacked. That was a stacked War Games.
Right.
So yeah, I think give it to them now, and then next year you're gonna give it back to the men or whatever. But you got to start building it before. Can't just throw it all together. Well, I guess that's the problem. They're building it before. They've been building it by doing the same match for the whole year
With the men's or the women's?
with the men. I mean, the women they mix it up pretty good.
Yeah, I think the women's is actually built up. I
Yeah,
think.
it's like they can only build one. It's like they only have the capacity to do one. They can't do
Right.
two. They can't do everything on the card. Like I'm talking about like full blown story. And with all the writers they have, you think they could.
Which this goes back to my earlier point that you don't need to have like the big marquee match for both the men and the women. It's okay to have if you have a better match for one of in this case, it just so happens to be that the women's War Games match is more compelling than the men's one.
Yeah, like you
So
can put
in this
the
case, you could scrap the War Games match for the men.
yeah, you can send them through like a traditional 5-on-5 elimination. You have a moment where all the baby faces are left, and then you just have Dom, sole survivor on the other team, and he's getting his ass beat by all the other five guys. You don't think the crowd would eat that up?
Or you just cut it out entirely.
Oh, well, I mean,
I'm
you're not
just
gonna not
we've
have them
seen
on
it.
the card
Yeah, I mean,
unless
but you don't need to
you
have
don't
that
want people
match
to
on the card.
watch. Oh yeah, we're gonna have this pay per view, but we're not gonna have Cody on it. We're not gonna have LA Knight. We still might not have LA Knight. We're not gonna have Jey Uso in the hand thing. We're not gonna have Seth
Oh,
Rollins.
that's
We're
a
not gonna
good
have
point.
Roman Reigns.
Oh, I bet LA Knight's challenging either Jimmy or Solo, or maybe he'll do a handicap match.
The rumor mill says LA Knight is going to team with a returning AJ Styles, and then they will take on the Bloodline, which is not a yeah, not something I'm looking forward to.
God.
But yeah, that's where they say that's going.
Oh boy. Well, let's talk about SmackDown. I don't think we officially started that.
We have it, but before we do, of course, we're on our way to 500 subscribers. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and then do a quick little roll call. Hello Twitch, hello TikTok. Well, we're not live on TikTok, but hello TikTok. If you're watching on the anyway, hello YouTube and hello Spotify if you do the audio only thing. Went pretty quick. And I will say, I had that more. I want to hash that out. That's going to be a little better coming soon. The little roll call thing. I had a plan of doing that, so I think it'll be a little bit better as we get used to that. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're watching on Twitch, if you give us a little follow, That'll be good too. Hit that little thick boy.
Did you find out about the affiliate link?
Oh, I did not. But we are
Okay.
affiliated with WWE. Link will be in the description right past the like button on YouTube. There's a Black Friday sale coming up for WWE, so it will be there in time for sure.
There you go. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. So Damage Control, they kick off the night. Well, first they replayed last week in the union of the new Damage Control. And they come out and Io is front and center, like she fucking should be. And Road Dogg is on commentary because Graves can reproduce. Bailey shits on Evansville, Indiana, then doubles down on her plan. This time she's saying that it was her idea for Asuka to be part of Damage Control. The Japanese girls, they all kind of they do the same thing that Damage Control did. They just turned at her like something's not right here. It's kind of eerie, actually,
Yeah.
especially with the Japanese girls because their serious faces is a little bit more intimidating than Judgment Day, especially McTurd.
Yeah, and it's just something about the way Kyrie looks at. She just
Yeah,
like looks so spooky.
she reminds me back to Kill Bill. Remember that Japanese girl, the high school girl?
Oh, yeah. Was she the one with the mace balls?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
thing. She's kind of like just a little small and non-threatening looking, but she'll cut your throat.
Yeah. She definitely gives off that vibe.
Yeah, like man, I wanna do things I can't say on the internet to her, but I can see her getting to a point where she's on top, but then she gets like an ice pick or something, and then maims me.
Yeah, she's hiding it behind her back.
Yeah, she transitions me. So Bailey says Damage Control is the strongest faction now, and they're playing chess while everyone is playing Candyland. Bianca, Charlotte, and Shotzi were not ready for Asuka. Japanese girls look at Bailey humorlessly, like they're all just staring at her. No expressions. It's very fucking creepy.
Yeah, and then they,
Kai,
yeah, they don't know
Kai
what's
says
going on
everyone.
there.
Yeah. Kylie says everyone. Kai Dakota says everyone isn't a part of the new Damage Control, and Bailey she starts to shit her pants a little bit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Kai's like, no, Asuka. We haven't inducted her yet. There's like, oh yeah, Asuka. So she asked Asuka to be part of Damage Control with a shirt. It's like, and we'll make sure that you and Kyrie get added on. And Asuka, she teases something, then she accepts. Kai also says Bailey, Kyrie, and Asuka are going to face Shotzi, Bianca, and Charlotte, and someone else at War Games.
She did a great job, by the way, Dakota Kai,
Who?
with her
Yes.
war game announcement. She did a great job. Good for her.
Yeah, I wonder. Hold on, let me get it out. I wonder. I wonder if Shayna was telling her lines while she was ramming her.
She was ramming her until she got the pitch right.
Yeah. So after that, Shotzi came out, and then my hand instinctively went to the skip button. And when I stopped, it was Shotzi, Bianca, and Charlotte. They were all getting tossed outside the ring by Damage Control. And I saw that Shotzi has this fucking smile on her face, like she's going to do any fucking thing. And I want to run her over with a Lamborghini.
Well, she
Later in the
basically,
back,
yeah, she drives her tank out, or out comes the tank. It's not being driven by anybody, and then everybody's looking at the tank, and then Shotzi, she jumps from the turnbuckle onto the whole damage control, except for Dakota Kai because she's hurt, and then proceeds to try to take them on 1v4. Out come Charlotte and Becky. I'm sorry, Charlotte and Bianca to try to even the odds, but they can't even the odds, and then that's pretty much, or the babyface, or I'm sorry, the heels retreat, and that was pretty much how the segment ended.
The baby faces retreated.
I forget. Honestly,
No,
yeah.
Shotzi, because Shotzi was smiling, like, oh,
Oh yeah,
she's
that's
crazy
right.
now. She's got spiky hair and she wears leather. She's crazy. Crazy Shotzi. Don't know what she's gonna do next.
She's gonna take that L. So what's she gonna do next?
I hope so. Later in the back, Charlotte, Bianca, and the other one, they're talking about the fourth member. Really, third choice since they still have Shotzi. Seriously.
Yeah.
All this comes out of nowhere to tell them that we're seeing Becky Lynch later tonight.
What?
That's what I've written down. It says I need to know who your partner is by the end of the
Oh,
night. And
you're
of course it's Becky Lynch.
you're skipping it.
That's what I have written down. No, that's what I predicted that.
Okay, no problem. Also, if you had the eagle eye, and I don't know why it was there, and I was thinking about it, like why was this there? Maybe we are not doing Randy Orton. In that segment, when he walked into the room, Cody Rhodes was standing in the shadows, and they had a meet, literally standing in the shadows, like he was standing in the corner in the shadows.
I didn't see that. So good eye.
Yeah, he was. I didn't know who it was at first. I had to watch it a couple times, but like, why is he standing in the shadow? It was just so happened that I was looking in the room. Like I thought it was a plant at first, so it just so happened that it caught my eye.
I'm still proud that I saw, well, proud and disgusted that I saw Xia Li that one time.
Oh yeah, you did.
And just to clarify, I didn't predict Becky Lynch was the fourth person. I just, drew the logical conclusion.
Well,
I don't want to make it sound like I'm a bookie or anything.
no, but that's why we always say you don't need sources. We don't need sources
Yeah,
on this channel. We get it right without the sources. We don't need. Well, we ain't gonna put you behind a $5 paywall to tell you this stuff we can see from a mile away. But if you want to pay us $5, you can.
of course.
Like I'm not turning away your money. I'm just saying we don't need to take your money. If you want to give it to us,
Exactly.
feel free.
Yeah, we ain't fools.
Yeah.
So Street Profits, Brawling Brutes, and Pretty Deadly had a match. It's for the number one contendership for the tag titles. Of course, all three teams are just randomly selected instead of picking three teams that have had some sort of win streak or success or threat. Like Street Profits make sense. Brawling Brutes, they're just there. They're window dressing. And Pretty Deadly is a comedy act.
Are they? They might be credible.
I think so. Pretty Deadly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
Guess
kidding.
we'll have
They
to
are.
read.
They're
Okay.
comedy.
So this stupid shit started off with all three men in the ring at once. To me, there was so many different and more entertaining ways they could have gone about this, and I'm just not interested. Like they could have just had a triple threat match, and the winner of that could have That like it could have been, Mouthpiece McFingerbang, the blonde one, and Ford. And if Ford wins, that means the Street Profits get a title shot. That makes more sense than a tag match, a triple threat tag match where all three men are in the ring. It's just a clusterfuck to me.
Okay.
I mean, did you like it?
I was okay with it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So B-Fab talks to Lashley again backstage while he's wearing an anime coat. And then Street Profits hit their revelation on the other brute for the win. Lashley comes out to celebrate with the Profits. And the other brute is pissed off at Mouthpiece McFingerbang. Did I miss something?
Nope, that was it. Uh,
All right.
Brawling Brutes pretty much broke up, and yeah, well, maybe they broke up. Where's Sheamus? And then you got the other one. Now,
Apparently, Sheamus is injured.
yeah, apparently he is due back. So
Is he?
yeah,
Okay. Good.
um,
Maybe they're because they've been losing. Now they're fighting, and Sheamus is gonna come back and reunite the fight night. Fellas, how'd we get to here?
I hope not.
I need to stop
Golly.
doing the accent.
Just let them be. Let them be. They're separated.
Just let it die.
Yes, we don't need the Brawling Brutes, but
Okay.
I do think Street Profits should win because they're getting the title match next week. So I think Street Profits should win the titles, tag team titles. I think they should win it. I think
Why?
it's time. It's time to take it off the Judgment Day. When's the last time an actual SmackDown team had the titles? It's been forever.
The Usos.
That was like WrestleMania though.
That's not long. That's not that long.
It's almost a year.
Yeah, they ain't that long.
It also frees up the tag team division. But I think so. I think what I see happening is you got the Cody Rhodes group. They cost Judgment Day the titles, and then that adds some heat for the War Games match. And then now you have the Street Profits. They can go out and defend the titles. You got the Bobby Lashley thing with it, so I think it's a good time for Street Profits to win the titles.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if the I'm back on their side. No solo cups. The solo cups are dead. So I wouldn't be mad at that. I just don't see that happening. But what you just laid out makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you just have them cost the titles, and then now you've added more heat for the War Games match, which is the next night.
Right. I don't know because they're trying to make the Judgment Day the Bloodline 2.0, and I just don't see. For some reason, they need titles to illustrate their dominance in the WWE.
Well, I guess part of the reasoning behind all this is I'm kind of seeing at War Games either Bailey or Damian Priest is getting turned on. That's just what I see happening.
Okay.
So if Priest gets turned on, he needs to not be the tag team champion. So,
True.
Yeah, he'd have to lose. You do it the night before, and then you can turn on him, or Bailey's getting turned on.
So, did they clarify if the match is on Raw?
It's on SmackDown.
Okay. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll see. So they're gonna lose the titles the night before the pay-per-view.
Yes, you lose right before the pay-per-view, and then you may even Because in that scenario, Priest is getting kicked out. So you lose the titles the night before, and he said he's the leader. So now you blame him losing the titles on him. You go into war games, you lose that too. Well, you're the leader. We keep losing. You're out of the group.
Okay.
Just my little. This is what I see. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I can see. Yeah, I can see the team. Does it make sense for a babyface to just interfere though, or does it not matter?
It can matter depending on what happens on Raw.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Fair enough.
remember, that's how the who cost Razor Ramon and the 1 2 3 kid beat him. I remember someone came out for a distraction.
Did they?
Yeah, and then you always have like Stone Cold. He would run out for a distraction on someone. Music shatters, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And then they get rolled up, and then he's laughing. I just helped this guy beat you. It's not very common, but it happens.
Right.
Hulk Hogan freaking hit the $1 million man with a chair to help his person win. The babyface Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I don't remember. Are you talking about when he upset Razor?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was off of the like someone came out for the distraction, and then he got that roll up.
I don't think so.
It was just a straight roll up.
No, hold on. So Razor runs into the ring post, and then he's kind of jawing with the referee. Then he turns around and 1 2 3 kid surprises him with a moonsault, and Razor's beside himself after.
Okay.
And 1 2 3 kid just gets the fuck out of the ring because Razor's pissed.
Okay.
Now they had a crybaby match, which that may have resulted in a distraction of some sort. But yeah, that's what happened.
No problem.
All right. So anything else on Street Profits?
Nope. We can move on.
Okay. Cut back to we cut back from commercial, and Damage Control is beating the fuck out of Mia Yim, and I ain't mad at it.
Yeah. So right before this, Bianca Belair and Charlotte were talking to. Well, I think it's just Bianca. She's talking to Mia Yim to see if she wants to join the team for War Games, and then yeah, next segment she
Oh,
got her ass beat.
okay. Yeah, yeah, huh? That is kind of clever when they do shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm just not.
You probably skipped it.
I'm
Yeah.
not observant enough yet. For some reason, Road Dogg used the situation to say he'd run away from Bianca if he was a female wrestler.
Because that's why.
Yeah, but I just had the vision of Road Dogg wearing lipstick. They replayed the drama between Ray Ray and Escobar. Ray Ray had knee surgery and is coming for Escobar sometime in 2024. Also, really fucking stupid that Ray Ray takes the time to tweet 2 different languages. To me, he looks like a pretentious cunt. Just pick one, let the other side use Google Translate or something.
There you go.
Just my thought. Dragon Lee versus Axiom. What the fuck is Axiom?
Dragon Lee.
Okay.
I don't know.
What the fuck
All
is
these luchas.
what the fuck is Axiom's entrance?
It was actually not even as good as it was on NXT. On NXT, he was like a superhero thing, and he had this entrance where he would go to the right, and then he'd move
Uh-huh.
over to the left, but you still see like him on the right, like just like a silhouette of it, or like a shadow figure of him, and then he moves to the left, same thing, and then he moves to the middle. So they didn't do it on this time.
Wonder what his entrance looks like live.
It's just him there, just just him going to each side. Yeah, that's only a TV trick.
I mean, obviously. I just yeah, they got the little lights. Yeah, so stupid. Looks lame live.
Oh,
Sorry. Well, I think it's stupid on TV too, but it's even worse live. So they still have the fucking filter on when he does his little turnbuckle pose thing, and just fuck this guy, man. Both cunts shake hands and before the match, and I've had enough. Dragon Lee wins somehow.
what's his little running slice bread thing?
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I was going to talk about. Remember a couple weeks ago I said, "Hey, you can't do you can't bring back the cruiserweight division because the whole roster would be in the division." But now I'm kind of saying maybe we can run back the cruiserweight division. You build it around
Maybe.
you got let's just look at it here. We got Dragon Lee, we got Axiom, we got Butch Pete Dunne, we got Cedric Alexander, we got Johnny Gargano, we got Tommaso Ciampa, Chad Gable. Like there's enough there to build a Tozawa. How
Kaiser.
can I forget about Tozawa? Xavier Woods. There's enough
Kaiser.
there to build a cruiserweight division.
Kaiser.
Kaiser, Kaiser's not a cruiserweight, is he?
Oh, he is. He's about the same size as Chow. Dude, Kaiser can fit through prison bars.
That's because he's only 1% body fat. But I think
Exactly.
he's over
He's tiny.
200 pounds.
Okay. I'll take your word for that. I don't want to look that up.
Okay. Uh,
I don't want to look
okay.
up Kaiser's weight.
Well, maybe Kaiser, maybe not Kaiser. And then you even got like people in NXT. You got Tyler Bate. You got Carmelo Hayes. Like you got enough for a division. Now I'm not saying like you bring back like the TV show 205 Live. I wouldn't watch it
Mm,
anyway, but I would say don't bring it back. Not gonna. I don't watch NXT. Why would I watch a cruiserweight show?
right.
But yeah, you bring them back. Bring back a cruiserweight title. You move the tag teams all over to Raw, so Raw has the tag teams, and then the Intercontinental and the World, or whatever the hell that title's name is. And then SmackDown, you have a cruiserweight title, the U.S. title, and then Roman's title.
Okay.
But I think you could do it. I think you got enough talent there.
Did they bring back that gold or not gold, that blue purplish thing?
Not me.
By
I
the
go
way,
to a new design or go back to like old school, the black cruiserweight title.
okay.
And you don't call it 205. For God's sakes, don't call it 205. Cruiserweight is what you call it.
I wish they bring back Neville. I liked him when he was the king or King Neville.
Yeah, see? Another cruiserweight.
By the way, Kaiser is 100 kilograms, which,
You looked it up.
according to, I did.
Couldn't help yourself.
Uh, I know. 220 pounds.
Yeah, so he's out of the division.
Yeah.
I remember
All
like
right.
even they had like this little story where Buddy Murphy at the time, he was like, because he's like a super jack dude. and he had to like cut weight to make and that was the story. He had to cut weight by the time of his match to make the match. So you even
I
got
think
stories like
didn't
that.
Jericho have that in WCW?
Yeah, where he had to like cut weight. Yeah,
I think that was the first time I've ever seen that.
yes,
That's good shit.
yeah. You can even build those little kind of stories, but and and I think they got the personalities too. It's not just all based off of the wrestling. I think they got personalities in the division too that can lead to having stories that we actually care about. I don't know. It could be like similar. I think with the talent, it would be similar to like the WCW cruiserweight division, and with Triple H booking it.
That's cool. I just wish they'd do more than just have mass people jump around.
Well, that is what you get with the cruiserweights.
Well, and I don't mind that, but the cruiserweights in WCW at least had storyline angles, or they had agendas and goals and ambitions. Here they're just, here's Dragon Lee. He's awesome. Why? Because we told you.
Well, apparently they kept saying on commentary that this match was in honor of Rey Mysterio because he was injured, and both of those men were inspired by Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, that's not
And he
enough.
also called out Dragon Lee, that is, called out Santos Escobar. But so he was trying to get to Santos, and then Nick Aldis, for some reason, said, "Well, how about Axiom instead? Because that's not random."
Right.
Oh, you want to fight Escobar? What about Axiom? Who?
Yeah, I don't even know who this Joker is.
Yeah, he's NXT.
I,
But I told you,
is he? He's from Spain. I do know that because that's what they said, or at least I think that's what they said. But whatever. Axiom lost. Great debut.
yeah,
So Santos Escobar came out, and he's back to his awesome music and his awesome look. He's back to being the cool guy. Finally, a Mexican I can get behind.
apparently he's
And Evans,
he took direct inspiration from Tony Montana with that outfit because he tweeted out
yeah,
a side by side of him wearing exactly what Tony Montana was wearing. That would be
the
Scarface
bad
for
guy.
everybody.
Okay, I was gonna say that, but I thought that'd be cliche. But all right.
Nope, that was on purpose, apparently.
But yeah, he looks sharp and on point. And Evansville really hates Escobar. And then Escobar speaks. He says, "Never meet your heroes. See, I modeled my career after Mysterio, and what I wished for was for the next generation to see him, or to see me as they do Rey Mysterio." Escobar says Ray was like a father, and he made him feel at home. Then he says, "But Dominic was right. You are a deadbeat father." Because that seems to be the go-to Ray insult.
Yeah. Oh, when you want to get booze, do this.
Yeah. Escobar deserved to be U.S. champion, but Ray was instead. Escobar wanted to rebuild the LWO, but Ray did. And he brought in new members like Carlito. Personally, I'd be complaining about the two clowns that never win, because like at least Carlito can win some matches. That's and the hole. Get rid of the hole. The hole and the other two clowns. Keep Carlito, Escobar, and Ray. That makes more sense. But he says Carlito is he's an outsider, and he has a small dick in Spanish. I think I would assume. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what he said. But I assume it was something about his penis size. Ray sided with an outsider like Carlito over Escobar. And all this pain you're suffering, Ray, I hope it reminds you of how I felt when you betrayed me. And the only thing I'm sorry for is not doing more damage. And Ray Ray, I hope the surgery didn't go well. I hope you have an infection. I hope they have to amputate your leg.
Harsh words from Santos.
This is great. I don't, I don't know. I think the soft crowd, I think the snowflakes melted a little bit on that one because they didn't react. You got more hushed things than booze. To me.
Probably. I didn't pay that close attention.
Okay. I could have read it wrong. But so the hole comes out. She makes a sad face at Escobar. Escobar tells the hole he's done with her. She slaps him. Now, if he was a real heel, he would have fucked her up. But of course, we can't have, realism in wrestling. He can wish that another guy's leg can be amputated, but he can't slap a girl back. Or, like body slam or something,
Right. Retaliate.
Yeah, he doesn't have to like throw her through an announce table or something, but he could clothesline her or something. Fuck. She's a wrestler too. She could take a bump.
True.
So then the other two come out, and he shits on them, and he says, "You exist because of me. I allow you to." And they tell Escobar what he did to Ray Ray was out of line. Then Escobar tells him to get the fuck out of the ring. And he whoops the shit out of both of them when they're getting out of the ring. Then Carlito, he comes out with his big ass hair. And then Escobar escapes and lives to fight another day. And I am glad the old Escobar is back.
Yeah, this was a great heel turn for him.
I appreciated the reaction he had when he was booed. He was just like, okay, I get it.
And I touched on it.
I can see how you feel that way.
I don't know why everybody's booing him. It's really Ray's fault all this happened. But we don't need to get into that. But he also touched on it, so just felt good to be validated that I said that stuff, and then he said it too.
Yeah, maybe they'll listen to us.
I know they listen to us.
You want to say that again?
I know they listen to us.
Yeah, the head WWE writers listen to us. Triple H tunes in every time or every Saturday.
Well, I wouldn't say he listens to the 3-hour thing we do here, but he sees
He's
the
more of a
clips.
clip fan?
He's a clips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He's one of the 3.
3 what?
Viewers.
No, I mean the shorts. Sorry. He sees the shorts.
Oh, okay.
We got almost 1,000 over on TikTok. We're cooking over there. We might be TikTokers if we really want to be honest about it.
Fair
Call
enough.
ourselves YouTubers. They actually might be TikTokers because that's the leading platform right now.
Well, I don't call myself anything. I just call myself a fan.
Oh, well, I call myself
See,
a
I'm all humble.
podcaster. So
Yeah, I feel like we'd have to have a steady audience for this to be considered a podcast.
It's a podcast. You get the clips.
Okay.
When I tell people at the grocery store I'm a podcaster.
I forwarded one of the music videos I made to somebody at work because they're like, "Oh, you should." I sent them just random stupid shit like I don't know, Regis Philbin. He had a music video.
Mm-hmm.
So just stupid shit like that. Eddie Murphy, he had 2 singles that were awful. Actually, no, one was pretty good. But he's like, you should have a YouTube channel. Just have random stuff. I'm like, well,
you don't say.
I did try to do I did try to do wrestling music videos. I didn't get a reaction. So
Too bad.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I don't bring it up in the real world.
It's okay. We just gotta find the right audience. We don't. It's not. Well, talk about it later.
It's all good. Whatever happens, happens. It's fun.
Oh, by the way, one day we are gonna start. I'm gonna put it out there in the world here. One day we're gonna start a movie podcast. It's gonna be the show presents. I've thought this all the way through, by the way. The show presents streaming now. That's the name of it. Streaming now. But it's the show presents
Okay.
streaming now. We're going to cover only things that are on streaming platforms like Peacock and Max and Netflix and all that. Now, you might
Okay.
ask, why were you thinking about this? Because
You want to
some
diversify your bonds?
some things happened at the house here, and circumstances have changed, or now I have to pay for my streaming services. And I said, if I'm going to have to pay for my streaming services, I'll just make a podcast and talk about it so that I can get money to pay for the streaming services.
Possibly. I mean, there's a lot. That's an oversaturated market as well.
Not
But I'm
that.
game, man. Yeah. What?
You didn't hear the angle? Streaming now, we only cover stuff that are streaming.
I would imagine that.
We only
Yeah.
cover
There's
horror and action movies that are streaming on the streaming platforms. Now, how about that?
horror and action movies with a strong male lead.
we only cover movies on the streaming platforms that have tits in them. Like, if it doesn't show bare tit, we don't watch it.
Actually, you know what? I could, because I would imagine you would pick one week, I'd pick the other week. That kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
And I could only imagine what each of us would select.
Oh, if we did the tit podcast, it'd just have to be called the Money Shot. The show presents Money Shot, and then we did.
Well,
Anyway, we're so off.
all right, wrestling fans, just cover your ears for a second. So, when exactly will we have time to record the movie?
I don't know. I didn't really like hash it out. It was just like, oh, I was just thinking as I was driving. Oh, if I got to pay for all my streaming services, I might as well just do something to earn money to pay for them.
I mean, we could work it in as a keep your ears covered, wrestling fans. We could just kind of work it in as a segment.
Oh, we could, but this is like so far down the road. I was just thinking about it as I was driving because I have to. Because really want to know because Loki came out on Disney Plus and I can't watch it without paying for Disney Plus, and yeah, so I was like, I'll just start a podcast. we'll do a podcast based off of only streaming things, and then I'll be able to watch Loki.
I bet I could find Loki for you.
I don't want low quality stuff.
It's not low quality.
Best quality.
Because there's a documentary on Disney Plus that I wanted to watch, but I don't want to pay for Disney Plus.
Oh, there you
go. But I found a resource that the quality is pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
You just have to watch it on the computer,
which is what I would do. Anyway,
yeah.
Let's get back on track here. We still got WrestleMania to go.
oh, Jesus, yeah. Waller beat Cameron Grimes. Theory was on commentary. Anything to add?
Nope, they're gonna have Kevin Owens on the Grayson Waller effect next week. So apparently he's suspended. Whatever.
All right. Damage Control took out the LWO hole. Still ain't mad at that. And then we had the Bloodline. Heyman's with Jimmy and Solo. we're acknowledging Solo for beating down Cena. Heyman teases a Cena appearance, but says Cena will never appear in WWE again because of Solo. Cena doesn't have the heart to say goodbye to the WWE universe, so Heyman gets to do it for him. Solo stole John Cena's Christmas, is what I wrote. Cena doesn't come out, but LA Knight does. Well, real quick, Heyman does a really good job of building up Solo and saying he's the reason why you'll never see John Cena and you'll never hear hustle, loyalty, and respect because John Cena can't say it because of Solo. And just that kind of stuff. And Heyman's really fucking good.
He is really good. And he says if John Cena ever comes back, his return match would have to
Oh,
be
yeah.
against Solo because that's the kind of person John Cena is, and he's not gonna want to do that again.
Right. He doesn't want. He's not going to challenge Solo because he can't challenge Solo because of Solo.
Yeah.
So Knight says Roman's only champion today because of the bloodline. That's kind of getting old too. He says that's a problem, but I've got a problem solver. His name is L.A. Knight. I'm going to take all of you out, even Paul, until it's just me and Roman, and no one will be around to save him. Knight says since Jimmy decided to cost him the championship, he volunteered to be the first one to get an ass kick. He volunteered to be the first one to get an ass whooping. Knight does a really bad rhyme, and then he gets into the ring. So it's LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. Solo and Heyman leave Jimmy right off the jump. I guess Heyman got a phone call during the commercial break. Patrick asked the other commentators what they read into Heyman and Solo leaving, and Road Dogg says, I read into it that they're walking away. Which I thought that was funny. Fucking Patrick. Knight wins with a BFT. Nothing match. Actually, Jimmy looked like he was in slow motion. I don't know what was wrong with him. He just looked like he was going through the motions, like he had something else on his mind.
It's probably because he just had this match like 2 weeks ago.
Fair enough. So Solo comes out after the match holding out his little spike like it's a knife. And then Jimmy attacks Knight from behind and Solo hits his spike. Jimmy and Solo make to put Knight through the announce table, but Cody comes out and single-handedly takes out Solo and Jimmy with his vest on. Knight and Cody stand tall. And then later, Aldis kicks Cody off SmackDown. Like 5 minutes left to go in the show.
Yeah, he says, well, I think you know what this means.
Yeah.
Time
Gotta
for you
go.
to go.
But there's like 5 minutes left to go in the show. Is he going to interfere in the Bianca, Charlotte, and Shotzi thing?
Well, it's not about how long there was left. It's about getting kicked out.
It's the principle.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So Bianca, Charlotte, and Shotzi come out. Becky's the fourth person. There was a brawl. Doesn't matter that, Becky's on Raw or NXT or whatever. She's not on SmackDown. That's cool. Doesn't matter that the new SmackDown GM has been laying down the law regarding the Raw talent coming to SmackDown and assaulting the talent. Just, I don't know. Just fuck everyone involved.
Well, there was the thing where Cody was talking to Nick Aldis. So they could have been dealing something there. I don't know why he was talking to Nick Aldis. I'm trying to figure that part of it out. Why was he talking to Nick Aldis? Maybe he's recruiting LA Knight to be the fifth member of the team. War Games.
I don't know. I just know that anytime a Raw person comes and gets involved in shit, Aldis is out there like a hound dog and kicking people out. But Becky comes.
Maybe Cody. I don't know why it was Cody that did it. He made the deal. You take Becky Lynch for Survivor Series War Games, and then in exchange, we get a SmackDown person and we
No,
take
that's not what
LA
happened.
Knight. No,
Charlotte called Becky.
I know, but they needed to get the approval.
And they asked Cody like
Yes.
so so wait, you're telling me that the GMs have to run it by Cody?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to piece it together here. Make sense of it.
I don't know. I just know Becky's a star. This is a SmackDown issue. And all this doesn't like Raw people on his show. Clearly. Keeps kicking them off and banning them and such and fining them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I'm just not excited. I'm less excited about this. It's bad enough that there's Charlotte and Shotzi and Bianca and Becky.
That's the whole team.
Yeah. I want to see Asuka, Io, and Kari.
Maybe they could wrestle. They could have wrestled uh, the Miz's John Cena's 5 of them. So air. They wrestle air.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe you could have the women's tag champions involved somehow. I don't know. Just, and Becky hasn't done shit.
What do you mean she hasn't done shit?
She's had a feud with Trish Stratus.
And she did the NXT title thing.
Yeah, she's been beating up enhancement talent.
And it's Becky Lynch.
Up until now. So exactly, she's not Becky Lynch anymore.
That's you ask. Why does Becky need to be in this match? Oh, because it's Becky Lynch. Outside of Rhea Ripley, that's the only other big name you have. That's why.
Yeah. Is she a big name though?
She is.
Still? Does she have the same cachet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not saying for me. I'm saying for she
No,
I
don't get it. Fair enough.
She sells the merch. I see people with the man shirts. The man.
Well, that was SmackDown. Which brings us to Survivor Series War Games. We're going to knock out some quick predictions, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Golly.
Well, just real quick. We'll do a speed run. And I won't even do it in order of importance. We'll just do it in order of Wikipedia. Gunther versus Miz.
Obviously, I say Gunther.
Ring General wins. Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark.
Going Rhea Ripley, of course.
Mommy stays on top. Team Rhodes versus Judgment Day.
See, this is hard. I had it penciled in that I'm going to say that the baby faces win this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going baby faces. Team Cody.
I'm going to say the Judgment Day, just to be contrarian.
All right.
I guess it depends on who if it's Orton or not, who their final person is. Yeah, fuck it. Judgment Day. Belair and Damage Control.
And this is why I picked Team Cody, because I picked Damage Control to win this part of it.
And I'm going to pick Damage Control anyway.
Well, I was going to say both heel teams can't win War Games.
Why not?
I mean, they could, but I think they would do a split: one babyface team, one heel team. So,
they could do something unprecedented though. They could have a pay-per-view where nothing but heels win.
They are pretty close to that. The baby
Yeah.
faces thing is the only one. Well, maybe.
So Carlito versus Escobar.
And I'm going Escobar. He just turned heel. And apparently we're waiting until the Rey Mysterio blow off, so going Escobar.
So Carlito starting 0-2.
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay. I too am going with Escobar. And yeah, we'll see you next week. What happens on War Games?
And as we say every week, if there's a more added matches, that's why we didn't pick them because they were added after the podcast. So like Monday, I'm sure they'll add a match or two, and then maybe on SmackDown they'll add a match or two. Usually they get around 8 matches, so I'm sure something is being added. So we didn't predict it because we didn't know in time.
There you go. Thank you for the disclaimer. And that brings us to our wrestling rewind. And this
WrestleMania, five time, five time, five time, five time, five time.
and the event is built around the Mega Powers exploding.
With
Mega Powers, of course, being Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Hulk Hogan.
yes, with the little explosion and sound effects when they said that.
Yes. So Monsoon gives a long ass introduction. I think he ran out of breath at some point during it. And then they move to the ring where Rockin' Robin is going to sing America the Beautiful. And America did not sound very beautiful coming from Miss Robin.
And they said she
And
was the
last
world
year,
champion too.
right. So last year we got Gladys Knight kicking the song's ass. And this year we have the WWF Women's Champion embarrassing herself, her employer, her family, and her country. Jesse Ventura said that she needs to stick to her daytime job, and I appreciate that he keeps it real. He might be the best. He might be my favorite commentator.
Well, I was gonna say how bad it was, and then everybody started
Yeah,
shitting on it. So I was like, oh well, I guess
yeah.
I guess it's well known, so I don't have to really do my thing.
And fun fact: Rockin' Robin was Jake the Snake's sister.
No,
And fun fact: she was allegedly diddled repeatedly by her father or their father, Grizzly Smith.
well, that's went deep to find that out.
Oh no, it's common knowledge.
I didn't even know Jake had a sister. I didn't know it was that
Yeah,
common.
yeah. Apparently, Grizzly Smith. Well, no, never mind. I don't want to get too deep into
Yes, tell me in grave detail what he did.
that. No. Well,
Spare no
it was
detail.
more uh, his wife. Apparently, allegedly, she was underage, and allegedly it wasn't consensual.
Mm, golly.
Yeah. Anyway, King Haku with Bobby the Brain Heenan versus Hercules. Hercules. Haku is using the King music, and yeah, the Harley race. He was doing the King gimmick. I heard in a shoot interview, Haku said that Harley allowed him to use the King gimmick when he left, or I don't know, when he was being King of the Ring or something. I don't know. Harley gave it to him. I forget the circumstance. It's late, folks. Heenan is asking everyone to get up and bow to King Haku, which prompts a shit ton of boos. Hercules is too focused on Heenan, and King Haku attacks while his back is turned. Hercules gets the advantage, hits Haku with a couple of elbow drops, then inexplicably goes after Heenan. Haku goes for a diving headbutt from the top rope and misses. Hercules then Hercules then hits a belly to back suplex and bridges up for the win. It's okay match.
Yeah, so and so match. Hercules is a face now, which was weird. I guess it
Yeah.
wasn't weird, but
But didn't something happen at last WrestleMania?
Uh,
Yeah, well, it's Hercules. It doesn't matter.
no, but Gorilla Monsoon did said they traded him like a slave, which was a jarring statement.
Why?
He said he traded Hercules got traded like a slave. I was thinking, well, I don't even know if in that time frame that was an appropriate thing to say. It's not
Oh.
like, oh, you know, they said different things in the whenever this was in the 80s or late 80s. But even back then, you can maybe it's like traded like a juice box.
I don't know. Maybe because he had the chains on.
Yeah,
That kind of makes sense. Traded like a slave because he has chains on.
yeah,
I
probably.
mean, believe it or not, believe it or not, slaves are more than one color. So it's not far fetched to. And if he
Well,
thinks
it
he's
didn't have to be
Apollo, and
one color. Just calling someone a slave.
oh, so you're just saying, just in general.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was just saying he could have went so many different directions with it, and he chose
I
that.
think to me, Monsoon just seemed like he just said whatever was on his mind. He didn't really think too much about it.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a okay match.
Yeah. So after that, Mean Gene talks to the Rockers. The Rockers being Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. So this is the Heartbreak Kids WrestleMania debut. And to me, it looks like he's wearing a wig.
That hair was out there.
Michael says that they're Grease Lightning and they're going to come out on top. And then Jannetty says that they're going to have to rock and roll and strut and stroll to beat the biggest tag team in the WWF. So next we have the Twin Towers, which is Akeem and the Big Boss Man with Slick versus the Rockers. And I like the early tag team strategies the Rockers had when they would kind of sneak attack the guy standing in the corner. So they'd engage in some offense on whoever's in the ring and then just randomly drop kick whoever's in the corner or punch them or whatever.
Hmm.
Well, I noticed a lot of teams kind of did that. So I don't know if that was just the Rockers. They were first, at least tonight. I like that they all did the double team moves. The Towers, of course, relied on the power, while the Rockers relied on the speed and agility. And they both seem to work well as teams, which I appreciated. It almost looked like the Rockers are going to pull it off with this double missile dropkick they hit on the Big Boss Man, but Akeem breaks up the pin. So then Michael goes up on top, up top again on the Big Boss Man, but this time he's caught and he's hit with a Boss Man slam. And then Akeem hits his Air Africa for the win.
It was a pretty good debut, though.
It wasn't too bad.
There was a point where Hakeem, he clotheslined Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels sold the shit out of it. It even got like a
Yeah,
audible gasp from the crowd. Like, oh, did this just turn like this create a new style of overselling? I don't know,
possibly.
because it did
I
look
mean, you
great
can.
for him.
I don't know. It was hard to, for me at least, it was hard to gauge Michaels one way or the other. Early Michaels. Although he was wrestling two giants. What was he going to do?
Yeah,
He was wrestling two giants in the 80s when everything was about giants.
Yeah, nothing he could have done.
Right. So Tony Schiavone talks to the $1 Million Man backstage. Schiavone brings up Brutus the Barber Beefcake, who knows about strutting and cutting. $1 Million Man says tonight Beefcake meets his destiny. Yeah, $1 Million Man versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And then DiBiase is the only one to not have theme music up to this point. And it just seems like Vince is really getting our balls blue for that Money, Money, Money theme song.
Yeah,
I
it's
swear, if
just
we only get that for one WrestleMania,
no, we'll get it a couple as the best early theme song in history.
I don't know. I like we heard Bret Hart's theme.
I didn't like that version of Brett's theme.
It was very dated.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't want to do the thing, but I
There
like
wasn't any edge to it.
I like the more electric guitar one.
Yeah, the Jim Johnson
Yeah,
version. Yeah. Beefcake's ring attire was probably the most subdued it's been in his WrestleMania history. It's kind of boring, actually.
well, his cheeks were pretty much almost out.
Yeah.
Like he had the mesh,
Well,
see-through mesh on the sides, all the way back to like the inner part of his ass cheeks.
what was like that last year?
Not as much though, or
Yeah.
maybe is because it was smaller circles that it wasn't as bad. I guess.
Yeah. I'd have to compare and contrast. I remember his shit was all cut up. He just had the zebra print and it was pink.
Oh, brood eye, as Gorilla
Yep.
Monsoon would say.
So I thought this was an okay match, although I'm not really liking Beefcake with the faces and the gyrations and all that shit.
I was okay with it.
So we have $1 Million Man. He whips Beefcake into the ropes to go for a backdrop, but Beefcake counters into a small package. And I actually thought that was going to be a finish, but nope, only a 2 count. Then DiBiase knocks Beefcake out of the ring, and Virgil starts pummeling him. And this was the first time I've really taken a good look at Virgil. He had some guns.
Yeah, he did. That's why he's the bodyguard.
Yeah, it's a shame he's kind of I don't know, regarded as a kind of a joke. But yeah. So Beefcake, he's getting his ass kicked, but then he just stops. And he turns around like he wasn't just getting his ass stomped. And he chases Virgil. And then $1 Million Man clubs Beefcake from behind, and they brawl to a countout. And then Beefcake takes out $1 Million Man. And then he chases Virgil into the ring and then hits him with a sleeper hold. DiBiase tries to help, but then he gets taken out by Beefcake, who goes for his hedge clippers. And then DiBiase and Virgil run.
And they kept saying, "Oh, he got the he picked the wrong one," because he had Virgil, who was
Right.
bald. Like he picked the wrong man that time. But yeah,
All right, so Lord Alfred Hayes has brunch with the Bushwhackers. Hayes asks them a bunch of questions with their mouths full of food. I guess this was supposed to be funny.
yeah, they were just like moaning with the food in their mouth.
Well, it,
It's very primal, as they said.
was also very forced because Hayes would ask him a question and then he would like just intentionally put food in his mouth then. Instead of, I don't know, Hayes asking him a question while he takes a bite or I don't know. Just,
Well, I just thought it was a choking hazard. Like you're stuffing all that food in your mouth, you're gonna
oh, yeah,
choke.
there's that too. Well, they don't seem to be concerned about their health. So the Rougeau brothers, they faced the Bushwhackers, the fabulous Rougeau brothers. This was a dumb fucks in the audience were doing the Bushwhacker arm thing. I thought they looked stupid and lame. Audience participation's bad, folks. Don't do it. Don't have fun.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy yourselves at these live events that you pay a godly amount to see.
Yeah, just go sit there on your hands.
Yes. And golf clap.
Yeah.
Um, this was a nothing match. Probably the most entertaining part of it was the bit at the beginning where Jimmy tried to get his jacket back and the Bushwhackers threw the Rougeau brothers into him. And then the Bushwhackers win with the battering ram, and then they lick each other. And then the Bushwhackers licked some guy, and then they licked each other some more.
And I think they actually licked tongues at one point.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I was just thinking, this can't be over fast enough. This whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
I remember back then the Bushwhackers were like, okay. First of all, I didn't know they were from like Australia or wherever they said.
New
Yeah,
Zealand.
New Zealand. Didn't know that they were American.
Yeah. No. They're New Zealand boys.
Yeah.
Or
I remember as a kid, I was like okay with them. They're whatever they were. But watching this now is like, oh my god, I cannot watch this for like however long this match is. It's too long.
I actually kind of liked them, but not tonight.
Yeah, and I did say maybe it just needs another match because yeah, this was not. It really wasn't a wrestling match. It was a comedy show or something.
Really, all of the wrestlers that I remember enjoying when I was younger, I'm not so much of a fan of now.
Mm.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So after that, Mr. Perfect faced the Blue Blazer. For those not in the know, the Blue Blazer was Owen Hart, brother of Bret Hart. And then Monsoon has the audacity to say that Mr. Perfect's tights are flashy after 5 fucking years of Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And I thought it was a shame that Owen's first match was with the WWF under a mask.
Well, it's good that you confirmed that was Owen Hart. I thought it was, but I didn't know.
Yeah, he was the Blue Blazer.
I remember he was, obviously at the end there, but I was like, is this Owen Hart?
He started off as the Blue Blazer, and then he became, Bret's brother. And then I think after Bret left, from what I don't know, it's rumor has it that it was kind of a punishment for Bret leaving.
Oh, you getting back under that damn mask?
Yeah, get back to that gimmick you hate.
Yeah,
and rappel from the ceiling. I don't want to do it, you pussy.
And then it backfired.
Yep. Fortunately, he had a fantastic match with Perfect. Not a whole lot of flash, but it was just great watching, a match between these two since they've been lionized, at least pretty much our whole lives.
Yeah.
Certainly ever since Owen passed away. Yeah, same for Perfect. Seems like when people pass away, their skill set increases like tenfold.
I don't know.
But they were good.
I always thought Perfect was, one of the better wrestlers.
I liked him, yeah. I liked his Perfect Plex.
Yes. Probably the prettiest move in the WWE.
And I liked when he did the redneck gimmick in WCW where he'd say rap is crap. while singing a really while singing a really shitty song.
Oh, I don't remember that so much. I'm sure we'll get to it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure we will. Those will be the dark days of WCW, though. Um, so Blazer hits perfect with a crucifix pin for a 2 count, and then Blazer starts to question the referee, and then Perfect hits his perfect plex for the win. And Perfect just hops out of the ring and walks away like it's just another day at the office.
It was. He was undefeated to this point, so he kept the undefeated streak going. And yeah, this was probably up until the point the match of the night. No, not
Yeah, it was
probably.
just
This was the match of the night up until this point. Uh, that Owen Hart
it
kid. Uh-huh.
wasn't even because of the match. It was just because of who was in it.
Well, I thought they worked a good match together. There
Well,
we go
yeah,
again.
it was a good
Yeah,
match.
like Owen Hart was doing. He was really cruiserweight.
Yeah,
Like he was doing crucifixes and hurricane ranas and doing the little uh, flip thing to get out of the arm hold. So
yeah, he was definitely a high flyer.
yeah, but yeah, for me. This was the most entertaining match up until the point.
Agreed. So Finkel announces Jesse Ventura so he can pose and be cheered for.
Yep.
Actually, he said, "I have a surprise for you, Monsoon." And Monsoon actually was like, "Oh, really? What's that? I can only imagine." And they announce him so he could wave and pose. He said, "I got you, Monsoon. You were fooled."
And he just kept saying they love me.
So Alfred Hayes talks about a 5K run for some reason. And then Mr. Fuji is announced as a last minute contestant. Mr. Fuji says he's participating in the run to prove that his boys, the Powers of Pain, can be tag team champions. Now, I didn't quite follow that logic. Did you?
No, I didn't follow it really. I know what he. So he's trying to say, he's got the stamina. I guess it made more sense when we found out that he was in the match.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. In hindsight. Okay, fair enough. I didn't think about that. Okay. So the race starts. Fuji runs before the race officially starts. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, he got a head start. Always the heel.
Yep. And then it cuts to Fuji just simply finishing the race. Like he wasn't first or second. He just simply ran the race.
Yeah.
And Lord Hayes has a hard dick over how good of a shape Fuji's in. Fuji says, "Superior shape. I tell you, Lord Hayes, and my powers of pain are in good shape too." I just felt like this could have been a normal backstage interview without the 5K run bullshit. That's just me.
Well, Fuji
But
was in great shape. I'll tell you that. To have run that whole
yeah.
marathon without breaking a sweat, and his gear and his jacket and stuff was just amazing. So it
Yeah.
is good that we got to see that. Didn't break a sweat at all. No, he did break a little
No.
bit of sweat. That was but his eye makeup was still on. Like you think he would have sweated that off, but nope, not him. And ran a whole 5K and didn't even sweat off that eye makeup.
Yeah, it's almost like they didn't put too much thought into that. So Ren DNC does a WrestleMania rap. Now, I'm just curious why the fuck they had Rocket and Robin sing "America the Beautiful" when they had real musicians present. Now I know Run DMC, they're not known for their harmonies and shit, but there's no way they could have done worse than Rock and Robin.
Right. Yeah, she did
And
bad.
I just want, and instead Vince probably overpaid them a lot to just keep saying WrestleMania over and over and over again.
True.
And I skipped most of the second song. I'm not much of a Run DMC fan.
I didn't skip it, but I literally couldn't understand a word they were saying because, like, I don't know, it's the 80s, so the vocal, the PA system or whatever wasn't clear. So I didn't understand what they were saying. I was, yeah, I got no words
Okay.
out of what they said.
What song did they sing
I don't even know.
besides "Walk This Way"? No, not at WrestleMania. What song are they known for?
Uh, yeah, walk this way. It's tricky.
Okay, okay. I was like, man, I can't for the life of me think of a Run DMC song.
They got uh the reindeer or the Christmas song. That one's a pretty big one.
Well, Mean Gene, he raps with Demolition. Mr. Fuji apparently turned on Demolition by attacking Axe with his cane and then scoop slams Fuji outside the ring. And I guess the powers of pain pick up Fuji and dust him off. And they're a team now.
Yeah, this happened at like Survivor Series or something.
Yeah. So Powers of Pain and Demolition already had a match that ended with Axe beating the shit out of everyone with Fuji's cane until Fuji throws ceremonial salt into his eyes. So they cut to Mean Gene, who asks about the Powers of Pain and their title defense. Axe and Smash call Fuji the Stooge a bunch of times and say they're going to take care of business. And that's that. So Powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji had a match with Demolition. So Warlord grabs Smash's arms. Fuji tries to throw salt in Smash's face, and it hits Warlord instead. And Demolition hit the decapitation on Fuji for the win. And I could not get into this match to save my life. I watched it about 3 times.
Yeah, it was just there for me, kind of.
Yeah. So Tony Schiavone's stalking the Macho Man backstage. The Macho Man's dressing room door is like already cracked, so Tony just goes inside, and the Macho Man goes all Blair Witch and then calls out Hogan while standing atop a bench. Dino Bravo with Frenchie had a match with rugged Ronnie Garvin. And Bravo looked like he was 60. He looked pretty, he was rugged. Garvin had the ugliest, most unique white trash haircut I have ever seen in my life. And I appreciated just how it looked like he took great care into that white trash haircut.
The bleach blonde mullet.
With the I don't know, it had the angles and the back. It almost looked like he had a rat tail too. We used to do rat tails where it's like these little ponytails.
Yeah, I think I
And
remember
at the
those.
very bottom of the hairline, you just let that grow out and shave the
Oh
rest.
my.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture sometime. You got to see it to appreciate it. I think Billy Ray Cyrus had a rat tail. He may have started it.
I wouldn't put that past him.
Yeah. So Superfly Jimmy Snuka comes out, and he doesn't look nearly as good as he did at WrestleMania 1. And then Snuka just leaves. And I thought this was a great match until Garvin chops the shit out of Bravo and then proceeds to slam his head in the turnbuckle the softest way possible. It looked like he was trying to like lay him down on a pillow like a child.
Yeah, it was a little weak
Gar-
on those.
yeah, Garvin tries to because it looked like they were really like punching each other, but then whoa, no, can't do the turnbuckles realistically.
Yeah, why stop there?
Yeah, or just don't do it.
Or maybe he was so thick, it was just hard to do it to him. I don't know.
I could, or maybe his back is hurting or something. Garvin tries to go for the 10 punches, but on Bravo in the corner, Bravo counters into an atomic drop and a sidewalk slam for the win. Um, Bravo winning came completely out of nowhere, and Garvin attacks Bravo from behind and then starts beating the fuck out of Frenchie. Garvin does the Garvin stomp on Frenchie, ending the with a stomp on his face, while Frenchie just convulsed.
And later, Randy Orton will start doing those type of stomps.
Yes, and better. No, I think that was pretty good. That was more brutal.
Yeah, like some of those were like, yeah, they look
Yeah.
pretty nasty.
And then did the close up with that foot in his Frenchie's face. Just looked
Yeah, and
sick.
his
It
leg is
reminded me of
shaking, convulsing.
yeah. It reminded me of that scene in American History X.
The curve.
Yeah.
He
And Gorilla Monsoon called the sidewalk slam a suplex.
did.
Just wanted to point that out. Next, we have the Brain Busters, which is Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard versus Strike Force, which is Rick Martel and Tito Santana. And I believe this is their only WrestleMania appearance, they being Arn Anderson and Tully.
That's a shame.
This was a
We got
yeah, I know.
all the moments, good moments.
Yeah, this was a great match. Uh, Arn Anderson put on another masterclass. I am so sad that we did not grow up in his era. Like when they did the double figure four in the middle of the
Hmm.
ring, Arn Anderson he thumbed whoever was holding Tully because Tully was the legal man. He didn't care about himself. He cared about the match.
Yeah, he broke his
And then
partner free. Yeah.
yeah, and then Arn holding Blanchard while Santana tried to do the monkey flip.
Hmm.
Beautiful. And the way he I don't know, just everything he did just had a purpose, and he was the most entertaining to watch, and certainly the most believable.
Right. Yeah.
So midway through the match, Martel gets a blind tag on Santana, and Santana is being held by Blanchard, or was it the other way around?
Uh,
I think Blanchard's holding Santana.
Santana. Yeah,
Rick gets
Martel's holding.
Rick gets the blind tag. Santana breaks free. He goes for a flying forearm to Blanchard, but he ducks, and then he hits Martel as he's getting into the ring. And this one forearm is enough to take Martel out of the match completely.
He sure did.
Later, Santana, yeah. Later, Santana tries to tag Martel in, but Martel walks down the apron and eventually leaves the match. And it's pretty much academic at this point. Anderson hits a spine buster on Santana. Anderson and Blanchard beat on Santana for a while before hitting a spike pile driver for the win. Mean Gene later yells at Martel in the back. Martel says Santana got what he deserved because he's been carrying Santana. He's sick of it. Martel was doing great as a single until Santana decided to ride his coattails. Mean Gene says, "But Rick, you two are a team." Rick says, "No, we're not a team. I don't associate with losers. Santana's lucky I didn't do more damage." And that I just walked off.
And I learned again that Rick Martel is not American. Or maybe he is, but I don't know what that accent was.
He's Canadian.
Okay. Just another thing I learned. It's like, what the hell is this accent? I don't remember him having an accent. But then I thought about it. I was like, oh, well, I never really remember him doing promos.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Okay.
Excuse me, folks. All right. Up next, we have the steaming pile of shit that is the Piper's Pit.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my! This for me is what really threw it off the rails. The show.
Yeah, yeah. So Piper's music plays, but Piper doesn't come out. It's Brother Love. Brother Love comes out and he does this, I love you, which made me want to kick him in the balls. And he proceeds to have an imaginary interview with Roddy Piper. So, however many fucking decades this was, they're still fucking doing that shit today.
It's probably his idea too.
Probably. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. So the crowd hated this. They started off by booing and then they just stopped reacting altogether. Then Morton Downey Jr. comes out and he's running with a cigarette in his mouth. Do you know who Morton Downey Jr. is?
I don't.
Morton Downey Jr. was a talk show host. He was kind of like the pre Jerry Springer.
Okay.
His downfall is he did kind of like a, I don't know if you can call it a race hoax or not, but he said a bunch of Nazis attacked him and wrote a swastika on his forehead.
Mm.
But the drawback was that the swastika was backwards, like he drew it on his forehead
Like
through a mirror.
You forgot to flip it.
Yeah. So he was kind of exposed for that. But yeah, that's Martin Downey Jr. He's kind of a sleaze. So Love and Morton, they get into a war of words. Then the real Roddy Piper comes out. And at this point, I say, what the fuck is this? Now, I will say, Piper looks goddamn badass. And I think it's the hair. It's that feathered, he looks like a lion.
Yeah.
Piper makes fun of Love, and then he says he has Betty Davis knees. And the Piper says he doesn't know if Love's face is red or if he's just scared. And Love says, Piper can't scare him. And then Piper goes, wow! And then, of course, Love runs to the corner and is scared. And I wrote, fuck Vince McMahon. And I underlined that twice.
Well, you didn't point out that Piper spends way too much time trying to look up his skirt.
Oh my God. And then Love tried to do it and he goes, you do that and I'll bite your face off. So Piper rips Brother Love's kilt off. And then he runs to the back in his underwear.
Yep.
Again, fuck Vince McMahon. Sports entertainment. This is what you like. This is what you. Yeah.
This is not my sports
this
entertainment.
Yep, enjoy
This is sports entertainment. This is not my sports entertainment.
Oh yeah. It's all in the same umbrella. So Roddy talks to Morton, and the thing is, Morton keeps blowing cigarette smoke in Roddy's face.
Which Monsoon kept calling it weed.
He did keep calling it weed.
Like, he's smoking that weed.
Morton insults Piper's mom, and then he compares him to a transvestite. And it just ends with Piper spraying Downey with a fire extinguisher. He sprays Downey with a fire extinguisher. And he actually tried to shove the nozzle up Downey's ass, that almost saved the segment for me, but not so much. And then later, some guy had the balls to ask Donald Trump what he thought about WrestleMania after showing that shit.
Yep.
Fortunately, Donald was polite. we just we just saw you, we just show you a goat fucking a pig. What'd you think? What do you think about the show so far? God damn it.
It felt like that
Mr.
segment was like 25 minutes long too.
Oh, it was
I was like, it's
forever.
never gonna end. Like we get the, and then yeah, way too much brother love because he's doing his
Way
little
too
voice
much.
thing through the whole thing. So it's like, okay, I've heard this enough. And then
And then the back and forth between Piper and Downey, that could have been like cut in half.
yeah, that went on too long. First of all, I was like, who? Why is that guy there still?
Right. Why was he even
Yeah,
there?
he's just sitting there smoking cigarettes, and then
Yeah, chain smoking.
yeah.
And then he got up
Oh,
with a stupid little
and
grin.
while it was funny too, because so while Piper is running down Bruce Pritchard or Brother Love, sorry, uh, the guy is like throwing cigarettes the whole time while they're doing their little segment. And then there was one time where he throws the cigarette and it hits Piper and then it falls on the floor and Piper picks it up and looks like gives him like a death stare. And then yeah, he keeps on going with the segment with Bruce Pitchard and then finally goes through that other stuff. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it just felt like it went on forever.
That's because it did. And again, I'm just surprised that they asked the guy hosting the event or allowing them to, the most powerful guy in the area.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you think of that?
Yeah.
I don't know. So they replayed the rise and fall of the Mega Powers. Macho Man won the belt at WrestleMania 4. Then it cuts to the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks at SummerSlam 88. And Ventura was the only man for the job, according to President Jack Tunney, to be the referee for this big match. And it ends with Ventura not wanting to count the pin when Hogan was pinning, I think it was Akeem, and shows Savage forcing Ventura's hand down for the 3 count. Then it cuts to Survivor Series, and a beaten down Macho Man is saved by Hogan. Then it cuts to a Saturday night main event where Akeem and Bossman have Hogan beaten down, and they have Elizabeth partially handcuffed, and Savage comes out with a chair to save the day. Then it cuts to a Superstars where Savage is pinning Akeem, but Bossman clubs him with the nightstick. This time Hogan does the saving with no chair. Then it cuts to the main event where we see Savage thrown into Miss Elizabeth. And then when it cuts to Hogan carrying Miss Elizabeth to the back while Macho Man is just pacing back and forth in the ring, all pissed off that somebody would care for his woman's well-being. Later, Hogan tries to tag Savage, and Savage just slaps Hogan in the face and leaves. I'm presuming Hogan probably still won the match. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it is
Let's be
Hogan
really
at
honest.
point, bro.
Yeah. He beat 10 guys up at once.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to the medical area, I'm presuming after the match, and Savage and Hogan are arguing, and Savage says he beat Hogan one-on-one. Then Hogan pleads with Elizabeth to talk some sense into Savage. Then Savage, in the most ginger way possible, Savage in the softest way possible, hits Hogan with his belt, and then he proceeds to beat his ass. So the Mega Powers are exploding.
The Mega Powers have exploded.
What's that?
I said the Mega Powers have exploded. Yeah.
I'm trying to do clips for you, bro. So Mean Gene talks to a piss off Savage, or excuse me, Mean Gene talks to a pissed off Hogan after the clip of the Mega Powers exploding. Gene says that, man, what a difference a year makes. You were by his side last year, and this year you're facing him. Hogan says they were the best of friends, but he should have seen this coming. The mania was a little bit ahead of the madness, which of course Hogan would see it that way. And Macho Man made me believe he was in my corner. That's why we stuck together for so long. Gene says Savage committed the high crime of insulting the Hulkamaniacs. Hogan says, fuck the Hulkamaniacs. Savage put Elizabeth between us. Hogan then says Savage couldn't handle the load or the pressure with his jealousy. Hogan says Savage was never in his corner and is a cheap shot artist. But just like Donald Trump, Macho Man, I hope you're ready, brother, because Donald Trump has questions in his own mind. He sent a whole team of seismologists out here to check the foundation of the Trump Towers. Because when the mega powers explode off a launching pad, brother, as we erupt over the whole Atlantic City, he was worried about the foundation. He was worried that the thousands of people in the arena might become unseated and swallowed by the earth. Donald Trump, don't worry about my Hulkamaniacs. They're survivors. They're ready. But you, Macho Man, I don't care where you stand. I don't care that you believe or what you believe in. All I want from you is your best. I want you to be ready. I want the Macho Madness to be at its peak, because when the Hulkamania rules, when Hulkamania lives forever, when Hulkamania puts you down on your knees, I want the whole world to realize I beat you at your best. And in the end of WrestleMania 5, I will be the World Wrestling Federation champion. And what you got to do, Macho Man, when the whole world full of Hulkamaniacs destroy you?
And that was Hogan.
Yes.
Another wild out promo that he's finally circled back to the Macho Man.
I can just see him leaving the backstage area after that, then going to Donald Trump and then cradling him in his arms and kissing him gingerly on the forehead, saying it's going to be okay, Donald.
Yeah. But it's funny that a year later he found another way to work Donald Trump's thing into the promo.
Right. It's also kind of weird how important Donald Trump was even back then.
Yeah, they're using this plaza twice.
Yeah. It's just weird considering.
Yeah.
So Andre the Giant versus Jake the Snake Roberts. Big John Studd is introduced as the special guest referee. Andre comes out with Bobby Heenan and no music, which it makes sense for him, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, Andre and Studd, they have words. Then Jake comes out with his music, which that might be good debut music too.
Yeah, his
Andre,
matches. Yeah.
so Andre takes off the turnbuckle as Jake comes out. You have to, if you have an eagle eye, you'll spot that. Or if you rewind it 6 or 7 times looking for when the turnbuckle came off, because as soon as the match started, and as soon as Jake set foot in the ring, Andre drove him face first into an exposed turnbuckle. Now, me, I don't have an eagle eye, so I had to rewind it and watch it like 8 times to figure out what the fuck happened. Finally, I spotted it. Did you see it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, as Jake is coming out, it does like a wide shot, and Andre just casually puts his arm over the rope and takes off the turnbuckle.
Look at him.
What?
I was saying he was preparing,
Yeah.
and then that goes to yeah. They do things like so inconspicuous back then.
So Andre gets Jake into a sleeper hold. Jake breaks free. Then he goes for the snake. And then Andre gets him into another sleeper. Then Andre gets caught up in the ropes with his little thing. You know, if you if you wanted to present something as a legitimate sport, because I think they are at this point. It's still real in the 80s, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to present it as a legitimate sport, would you continuously do the same little arm hooky thing?
It seems like that's their like go-to thing for the big men. Oh,
Yeah,
you're just gonna like yeah, it just seems because every big person, Big John Studd, Andre the Giant, I think Hakeem even had it happen to him too. It's just
he did it at Super Brawl.
that's just what you do. You got to get stuck in the ropes. That's your spot. That's your big man spot.
I'm just saying, it doesn't seem very realistic to like once I could see happening, but like every single match you have, bro, really? I know you're French, but I don't think French people are brainless. Anyway, I lost my place. Just give me a second here.
Andre gets caught up in the ropes.
Thank you very much. Uh, Jake gets some free shots in, but Andre ultimately snatches him. So like he's punching him, and then Andre just nope, gotcha. So after a bunch of choking and big man shit, Jake rams Andre into the exposed turnbuckle himself. And then Stud and Andre get into it, so Jake can get his bag of snakes. And then Stud yells at Jake, and then Andre inexplicably strikes Stud for like no reason. Then DiBiase attacks Jake and steals his snake bag. I don't want to say his snake because that sounds perverted. Jake chases the $1 million man while Andre beats the fuck out of Stud in the ring. And then Jake throws the snake into the ring and Andre retreats very, very slowly. Like if that if that snake wanted to kill Andre, it would have got him.
Yeah, Andre wasn't moving very good at that point in his career.
No. Jake is awarded the DQ win. Then they cut to some guy sitting in the cheap seats, and he asks a fan what he thinks about the show or the last match. Yeah, what he thought about Jake and Andre, and all he can say is Jake is the best over and over again.
Yes.
Then Tony Schiavone talks to Sensational Sherry. Sherry talks about Rock and Robin, says she can sing as good as she can wrestle, which she said it sarcastically, I'm presuming. And then she says, I'll be taking her title. And then Sherry talks about how she's more fuckable than Miss Elizabeth, and then laughs at the mega powers exploding. And then we never see her or Rock and Robin again.
Like in WWE at all, or just that night?
That night.
Oh,
It made it seem like that there was a match brewing.
oh, I didn't. No, she said when she was ready.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
Oh,
or
okay. I
not
missed
when
that.
she was ready. She said, yeah, something like that. When I'm ready to wrestle, I'm gonna take that title back, or something like that.
Yeah, this may come as a shock, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, I wasn't either, but I was like,
I mean, I was paying
no,
attention to
no,
Sherry, just not what she was saying.
maybe she is, maybe she isn't so bad, Sherry.
Her face is a little um, sister cousin ish,
I could see that. Yeah,
but the rest of her, and she, she seems like the type that would do things that would make your toes curl.
or you gotta like sing.
Yeah. Your eyes roll in the back of your head, like, please stop. No, no more. No. Hold
Or
on.
you gotta
Hold
tap
on.
out.
Let me catch my breath. Let me catch my breath. Hold on. Not so fast. Not so. Please. Please.
Okay.
Where you sound like the chick from any porno.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes, 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 yes. So Greg the Hammer Valentine and Honky Tonk Man had a match with the Hart Foundation. WrestleMania debut for the Bret Hart's music and his sunglasses. I believe. I don't remember him wearing the sunglasses.
Yeah, that might have been it.
So there's a moment where Hart whips Valentine into the ropes and then launches Neidhart at him. I thought that was really cool. Then Honky hits Hart with his shake, rattle, and roll, but instead of going for the win, Honky tags in Valentine, who tries to go for a figure four with a brace over his calf so he can break Hart's leg. But Hart reversed it. Neidhart gets Jimmy Hart's megaphone and then tosses it to Bret so he can nail Honky Tonk with it. And he does so, and he gets the win. Just thought it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. I didn't know if the Hart Foundation was heel or face because that's definitely a heel move. But they're slapping hands when they came out, so I don't know.
Right. I think they were the faces for this match.
Okay.
At least. So Ravishing Rick Rude versus the Ultimate Warrior happened. This started at Royal Rumble, and it was during a muscle montage that Warrior won. And Rude attacked Warrior with a steel pipe. And he choked him with the steel pipe that seemed to bend and bounce around like steel rubber or foam. So Warrior regained consciousness and then beats the shit out of everybody trying to help him. And that's kind of what happened there, I guess.
Yep, that was the build for the match there.
So Rude comes out and tells all the danglers to keep down while he takes his robe off and makes the ladies wet. Match starts off with Rude trying to hit a knee while Warrior still had the belt around his waist. And I thought that was a good, nice, creative way to start a match. Monsoon called a Russian leg sweep a neck breaker. I don't think he knew his wrestling moves.
Yeah, he was calling stuff off all night.
Yeah. Warrior goes for a apron suplex, and Heenan grabs Warrior's leg, so Rude falls on Warrior for the pin, and he wins the match. And then Warrior beats the shit out of Heenan after the match. And I'm not sure if it was this match, but I believe in an interview, Heenan said Warrior fucked his neck up. Like he told him to watch his neck, and he didn't.
Well, that's just one of the many stories that come out about the Warrior, I guess. Him not being safe or whatever.
Yeah, apparently Warrior didn't have any love lost with Heenan either. Like when he had contracted cancer, Warrior said, "Karma is just a beautiful thing to behold." That's why there's like a whole bunch of controversy with the whole charity under the Warrior's name that the WWE either had or has.
They have, yeah. The Warrior Award.
Yeah. Because he wasn't that great of a person.
Apparently.
So Hacksaw Jim Duggan had a match with Bad News Brown. And I think this was the only match where both competitors didn't come out to music.
That's correct.
And I thought this was awesome. This was just a fight. Absolutely no wrestling holds. It was just kicks and fists. And it seemed like every time Duggan got a head injury, he would yell, "Ho!"
If I felt like he was doing it before, like every time he did a punch,
Probably.
or like
he did it a
in
lot.
between
That was
his moves,
thing.
he was like, "Oh, boom!"
Yeah. 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 So Brown goes for his ghetto blaster and misses. Duggan hits his 3-point clothesline and sends Brown out of the ring. Then Brown says, "Fuck this," grabs a chair, and gets back into the ring. So then Duggan, he says, "Fuck this too," and he grabs his 2x4. So then they proceed to have a sword fight with their weapons.
Yes.
And then the bell rings. So both men, they drop their shit and they continue to fight. Duggan hits an atomic drop and hits Brown with the 2x4. And the ref announces both men were DQ'd. Duggan literally blew snot bubbles, and Ventura called it out plain as day. I thought it was great. You said you hated it.
I didn't say I hated it. I just said I couldn't get into it.
Why is that?
I don't know, because Duggan kept doing the ho between every punch, and I was thinking,
Well,
am
I
I
mean,
even a Duggan fan? Like, I don't know. Then my mind just started curling. Like, is there one match I can say that? Oh, that Duggan match.
yeah, Duggan. I can't say I'm a fan of his, but he's always been harmless. I don't say I don't. I like him. I'm not necessarily a fan. I like the whole America thing, and he is what he is. He's been the same. Like the first match I've ever seen him in, he's been the same as the last match I've ever seen him
Yeah,
in. So he's been consistent, if anything.
yeah. There's that.
I know what I'm getting with a Duggan
He's
match,
just like a
and
harmless, just there.
he's just a goof. He's just a harmless America loving goof. He drinks beer and punches people who don't love America too, or who are black. I'm assuming that's what the feud started over. Well, well, Mister, we don't take kindly to your kind around here. Oh, racism's killing me inside. Duggan hits the. Oh wait, we're done with the match. Sorry. I cracked myself up. So Mean Gene, he's in the back with his cock, and by cock I mean the Red Rooster, and he's crowing in the background, of course, like rooster crowing. The cock, cock, I'll have to work on that. I'll get you a good clip. Then this
I don't
this
think you
fucker
need
comes out.
to. Don't worry about it.
Then this fucker comes out with like the selective spikes, and he's kicking his goddamn feet like a chicken, or like he's a crack addict, or both. The rooster says he's going to teach Heenan something that Heenan's never taught him, and that's how to lose. And the rooster says that when he's done with Heenan, there'll be nothing left. And it'll be a great day at the barnyard, and everybody will be going, "Arr, arr, arr." Red Rooster had a match with Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Heenan comes out with the Brooklyn Brawler, still selling the attack from the Ultimate Warrior. And Heenan in the Andre singlet was great. Just
Yeah,
him in the wrestling attire in general is fantastic. And Heenan cowers in the corner, gets his head smashed into the turnbuckle a few times, then gets beaten up into another corner. Heenan hits one Irish whip and then goes for a shoulder charge. Rooster moves, sending Heenan into the ring post. Rooster gets the pin for the win. Brooklyn Brawler beats that ass post match, and then Rooster ends up chasing both off for some reason. Then bobs his head like a fucking chicken in the ring.
yeah. What a cluster of a match.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to rewind it like 3 times because I didn't see the finish. I'm like, what? Where's the like? It was literally one of those blink and you missed it type finishes, and then they
Yeah.
didn't show a
No,
replay.
it was what it should have been.
Yeah, and then yeah, when they showed the replay, it was only the Brooklyn Brawler attacking. So I was like, well, what was the finish? It was really over that quick. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It was great. I mean, in terms of a wrestling match, it was great. Just the Red Rooster thing.
Yeah, you didn't technically want to see them go like 20 minutes.
Right. So Mean Gene talks to Miss Elizabeth. Gene says to Elizabeth that this has got to be the most difficult time in your entire life. Then he shoves a microphone in her face. Elizabeth says he's going to be in a. Or Elizabeth says she's going to be in a neutral corner and supporting both competitors. Elizabeth says it's a shame. Let's try this again. She says it's a shame Savage and Hogan have to settle their differences through fisticuffs, and she can only pray that neither man are seriously hurt. And this was the weirdest fucking promo I've ever seen in my life. She either sucks or she was reading her lines from somewhere,
Probably reading.
or they were being fed to her. So then it cuts to Tony Schiavone, who says the locker room is empty because no one wants to miss the Mega Powers exploding. Some guys asked the fans. Some guy asked the fans who's going to win the match, and they scream incoherently. So I don't know what the fuck they said or did or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, it's a split decision." And finally, after some highs and lows and some shit, mostly shit, we have Macho Man Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan. And I'm not sure why the fucking champion came out first. I really hate that. And I appreciate that Ventura called that out. And Miss Elizabeth comes out surrounded by a bunch of sausage, which Savage must have loved. And just see him seething by the monitor or something. Oh, when that bitch gets home. So Hogan came out, and the pop didn't seem as big this year. They were cheering for him, sure, but like the initial cheer just wasn't as impressive sounding to me.
I had the audio issues, so
Okay,
I couldn't really
that could
tell.
have been maybe.
Like the PA system was off this night.
Gotcha. So the match starts. Hogan charges Savage, who jumps out of the ring and grabs a Hogan foam finger, rips it in half, and then gets back into the ring. That was a lot of. That was like all in like 5 seconds.
That's Macho Man.
Yeah. Savage makes Hogan bleed. Monsoon's like, he's bleeding profusely. Well, this little trickle is running down his nose. At least stop the match and check him. Why this little paper cut?
Oh, he's a franchise. You gotta protect him.
True. So Hogan picks Savage up and tosses him outside the ring. Elizabeth tries to help Savage, and he says, "Don't touch me, bitch!" Then Hogan tries to ram Savage into the ring post, but Elizabeth blocks him. Savage gets out of Hogan's hold, and then shoves him into the ring post, not giving a shit if Elizabeth is there or not. Then Elizabeth helps Hogan, and this pisses off Savage. Savage starts shoving Elizabeth and then like awkwardly cupping her chin with his thumb is on her chin and his forefinger is under her chin. He's like, ooh, and then he has a fist drawn back. He's cupping her chin and he wants to hit her in the face.
Well, we're just gonna hit her.
Apparently there was an angle that has been kind of whitewashed off of the internet. It's Jake the Snake Roberts slapping Miss Elizabeth.
Oh,
So I've been trying to find that. If any of our fans, if they happen to have a copy of that, send that my way.
yeah.
Just tweet it to the show or the podcast 7, the show podcast 7, whatever our Twitter is.
It'll be in the description.
Nobody's gonna get this far, so whatever. So Savage axe handle axe handles Hogan while he was leaning over the guardrail, and they played like Hogan hit his throat, even though his head was nowhere near the barricade. It was a foot away. Then Savage starts doing nothing but throat related offense, which I thought was great. And Savage hits his elbow, and of course, Hogan has to kick out just at two, or and starts hulking up.
And finally, we get a good clean Hulk up.
Yeah, it was just, of course, it had to be the elbow drop. So then Hogan does his thing, and then after one leg drop, which would hurt far less than an elbow drop, by the way, an elbow drop from the top fucking rope, Hogan wins. And Hogan tells Savage to get the fuck out of his ring so he can pose and dance to his music.
And he is now, I guess, 3-time champ. Hulkamania is
Yeah,
alive and well.
sounds about right. So that was WrestleMania 5.
That was WrestleMania 5. Like I said, it was a tough show for me. There's a lot
Yeah.
of down moments, a lot of matches that were just
Mhm.
there, but there were some good matches, good moments. So, but I'd lean more towards the bad than good.
I'd say WrestleMania 4 right now is the standard.
Yeah, that's the one. That's my top of the list, WrestleMania 4.
Yeah.
But we'll see
But
what.
next week,
Yeah, we'll see what
oh,
WrestleMania 6 has. But before that, we go to Uncensored 1996.
oh yeah, I was kind of peeking at this one. Oh, Loch Ness versus the Giant, and then we have, oh, you'll love it, the steel cage thing.
Well,
What do they call it?
I'm actually kind of excited about. Well, not excited, but that sounds like a deal. Loch Ness versus the Giant. It's interesting. It's big meat slapping.
Yeah. Well, if anything, it'll be short.
Yeah.
The Doomsday Cage match.
Oh, sounds interesting.
Yeah, where it's where Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage faced off against the Alliance to end Hulkamania. And it consisted of Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Lex Luger, the Taskmaster, Ming, the Barbarian, the Ultimate Solution, and Z Gangsta, which was Zeus.
All them versus two people.
Yeah, and
Oh,
Hogan and Savage had to start at the top of the three-tiered structure, and on each level there were members of the Alliance waiting for them. And the structure featured scaffolding with steps on it to enable the wrestlers to go. Yeah, it was like a little obstacle course. And I'm sure at some point Macho Man like twisted his ankle or broke a nail and he couldn't continue. So Hogan had to fight all of the Alliance by himself.
mm.
While Macho Man just cried, Elizabeth, dig it. I don't know. I remember watching it, but I remember it being shit.
Well, we'll find out this week.
Yeah, we will deep dive into it.
Yes. But on that note, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on all the social medias: TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, if you're an audio person. And is there anything else?
Just have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. And until next time, Top Guys out.